Good laning decision coming up from Geek fam. I mean, normally when you're a core and you try and dodge a really difficult lane, usually they switch between the side lanes. But Geek fam really getting innovative way of putting the Terrorblade mid and helping him out versus the Tinker. Once he gets points in that reflection, he should be able to harass the Tinker every now and then. Although it doesn't hurt Carl that much, but it's something.
I mean, Tinker is a hero who has decent amount of base damage, so yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's going to force him to just keep eating through a tango every now and then. And Disruptor constantly just chilling in the mid lane. So, Skid, he isn't getting the EXP that he'd like. But he'd be not doing too well either in a safe lane. I mean, you're still sharing EXP in a safe lane as well. So, nothing really lost here from for Geek fam by running this Terrorblade mid. Skid getting pretty much every single creep at mid. Execration seemed somewhat okay as far as the lanes are concerned, but down bottom. Firu. Yeah, the shards, the snowball, they've got the rocket barrage as well. Nando finds a kill onto the Naga side, and in Execration they're finding these small kills. But
I think the next big fight you could say is as soon as this Queen of Pain hits level 6,
yeah,
I think they're going to force a fight at bottom lane.
I mean, it is 4 minutes in also, so it is night time and March is moving towards the mid lane. Tinker's got to be careful. Carl, I don't think he knows that the Night Stalker has an invis rune. The scan coming out, but March being extremely cautious about this. Goes in with the Void. Carl trying to run the Metamorphosis. Is there the kinetic field? Will control the Tinker and Carl. He's going to end up falling.
How lucky can he be to get an invis rune as soon as he hits night time?
Yeah, extremely good luck in favor of Geek fam early on in this laning phase. And March also stood just outside that Radiant scan. I think Carl was hoping to clip him with the scan. The scan didn't clip and he thought he's safe. But now Lumic, he's lurking around the mid lane. You got the reflection, slowing down Carl. The shots are there. March will have another void soon. The kinetic field doesn't quite trap the Tinker and Carl barely ends up surviving. Snowball onto the Terrorblade, but Lumic, he's the one who's got to be careful now. He pops his one charges, but with the Hunter in the night, they've got the vision, and Skid finds himself a kill onto the Tusk.
I mean, Nightstalker is getting kills, but he's still level 2.
Yeah, that's not the best case scenario, but it is only 5 minutes in, and I'm sure March will start to catch up in the EXP, but not if he walks into a rocket barrage like this.
What was that?
Not really sure. March is getting a little too over eager, yeah. Does end up giving away his life. He doesn't even have boots.
I mean, this mid lane is working really good for Geek fam right now. Because the Terrorblade is out farming the Tinker.
Yeah.
And also, he has 1 kill on the Tinker as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't forget the top lane. This Queen of Pain is free farming right now.
Right. I think once she gets a couple of levels, she will look to rotate and make a play. For now, she's keeping down bottom where Nando finds another kill onto the Naga Siren. But Chuan has TP'd in 17 one charges. They want to bring down the Gyrocopter. They do have the burst damage with that Sonic Wave. But this TP from Chuan was cutted out by that Bat Rider. So Execration being extremely careful about this. And Chuan walks under Radiant Observer Ward. So Execration know what's coming. I think this... Yeah, I think it provided... Yeah, this Observer Ward on the cliff did provide vision of Chuan. They know that the co-op is on the hunt and immediately look at Carl. He's moved to the top lane.
Meanwhile, at top.
Oh, down bottom. Wait, what? Patrider finds a solo kill on the Naga Siren.
Yeah, because Naga was level 2 when he went to the lane. So, yeah, he just went level 3.
Yeah, mid lane, Chuan just diving past the tier 1. Once his Tinker TPs are coming in. Down bottom, March has a homing missile upon him, but back at mid, Carl... He's just going to TP away. But the snowball coming through in the bottom lane from the Tusk. They really want this Night Stalker, and March might just end up falling. The call down is there, and with the Rocket Barrage, they'll find the kill. And they've also got a Siege Creep. Execration, they'll be doing some damage onto this tier 1 tower down bottom.
Yeah, that's actually good. 7 minutes, and how did this siege creep survive?
I don't know. I think Execration have just been pushing the wave. Not really sure. But their siege creep is alive at the 7-minute mark, which is not something you see too often.
I think Nando was controlling the lane.
Yeah. Got some damage going. And Chuan, he tried to get active once he got that Sonic Wave. He didn't really find too much with it.
Yeah, and March is still level 3 at 8 minutes, so he needs to find his comeback to this game.
Yeah. Nando will end up finding that tier 1 tower, and they're going to die for March once more. It is daytime. TPs are coming in. They're looking to punish these two. Suppose the call down is there. Scream coming out from Chuan. They have the dagger as well, but they've lost the Night Stalker. Sonic Wave does clip Nando, and with a blink forward and the Thunder Strike, they'll find the Gyrocopter. They find the Tusk as well. Chuan gets himself a double kill.
You know, I call this like this kind of situations when you have the game in your hand, like where you carry it up and go and give it to your enemy. Hey, you can keep this game right now.
Yeah.
Like that dive into a tier 2 tower while your like the enemy queen hasn't used his ulti. They have TPs. I mean, diving that was really bad for XCTN.
Yeah, that is really unnecessary play coming up from them. They're going to die once more. This time it's on the Naga side at top. They didn't quite get what they were looking for, but they'll find the kill nonetheless. Nando shows up, has the rocket barrage, and they're pressuring the tier 1 tower up top. 30 seconds until the next siege creep spawns. Execration, they made their intentions clear. And I think Geek fam, without the Sonic Wave, might not look to defend this tower.
So we can see that the Terrorblade is going for drums. So he wants to fight early. He wants to join the fights early. I think the next night time will be interesting because March is getting some sort of levels here, and the next night time will decide whether Geek fam is coming into the like. Are they going to transfer well into the mid game, or is XCTN going to come in top?
Yeah, for now, 10 minutes in, no one coming out with a huge win as far as the lanes are concerned. The good news for Execration is that it's their cores who are at the top of the network charts. Nando just being a lot more active across the map early on, found a bunch of kills on the Naga Siren. And he's sitting on top of the network charts.
I mean, they haven't been using this Naga to, you know, do some gangs or anything like that.
Yeah.
They have only been using this Naga to defend these lanes. Like as soon as Queen left the lane, they immediately put the Naga to defend the top lane. But still, he hasn't got anything out of this lane. He's still level 4. I mean, they need to pressure this Batride as well. He already has his dagger, and here comes the smoke.
For now, they commit the Stack Storm mid onto Lumic. They find the task. They've got a siege creep. They might find the mid tier 1, but up top, the Naga Siren dies again. 11 minutes in, the Naga Siren nowhere close to hitting level 6. She's bought the tomb. But look at this. Execration, they want to defend the tier 1 tower mid. TPs are coming in. Van blinks away. Keeps his distance from the Queen of Pain. And that's the Batrider's Blink Dagger revealed. Seems as if Geek fam will just look to disengage.
He actually revealed it in the top lane where he did on the Naga, yeah, with the smoke.
Okay.
That was a win. Like it was good for Geek fam because they already killed the Naga who has nothing, right? So I mean, they didn't use the blink on a core, but then again they got the tier 1 at the top lane. So yeah, I think Geek fam saw the blink already there.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, there's a certain amount of pressure on Geek fam to try and close this game early. You want, like, you don't want to go late versus the Tinker. And
yeah, and we can see that the Night Stalker is also going for a drums.
Yeah, they want to fight early, but I somewhat feel that they missed their timing. They're trying to catch up. But the Tinker, he's already got his BO3s. Carl is going to keep moving across the map. And I feel Geek fam, they've slightly missed their window in this laning phase.
I think it's because of their offlane. Like the Naga and the Night Stalker couldn't do anything to that offlane. We thought that they could survive it, but then again, They were like they could not do anything. Like
well, Geek fam, they're just starting to group up mid. They've got the Metamorphosis kit, does have those drums complete. They drop an Observer Ward behind the tier 1, but Geek fam, I don't know if they're going to be ready for what's coming at them. Man, running forward with that Blink Dagger March. Well, they've got the drum charge. The call down is their stack storm. It is controlling the gyrocopter, but the lasso. They've got Skaden in the call down. The Terrorblade will fall. Sonic Wave coming through. Grims on the Ancient Apparition will end up falling. Snowball coming up from Lumik. Chuan, he's dropping low. He's being slowed down by the Sticky Napalm, but with the screen, he finds the Tusk. Firu on the Naga, on the run. They've got the Thunderstrike and the Vision. They're trying to run down this Batrider. March does have stick charges, and finally the Insta comes through from the Naga side as Shuan gets himself a triple kill, and Carl has no choice but to TP the heck out of there. Geek fam somehow end up winning out that fight.
Vivek, Oli was that positioning from Oli. He actually got a 3-man ulti, right? And I think that changed the fight right there.
Snipes the Naga Siren from his fountain. They still getting something out of a bad situation, but they got the gyrocopter. That's somewhat key for Geek fam. Chuan, he's got to be careful though. You make there with the snowball. Chuan does have the blink in. I think he's going to be okay. Darkness being committed by March. He popped the darkness and he ran away. Okay, fair enough.
Oh no, I think he's trying to.
He can bring down the Ancient Apparition actually. That's a free kill. I don't think Grims can just show himself in the lane like that, and yeah, March will just run at him. Pops the drum charge, has the void if need be. The Ice Vortex belly tickles. They got the glimpse, and they'll find the Ancient Apparition. But it seems as if Execration are trying to find something in return. The snowball is there. It's onto March. The Shah's not on point, but the Stack Storm does push back the Tusk. But here comes Van. Has the lasso. They find the Night Stalker. Ollie still alive with the Shadow Amulet, but they'll knock him back. And with the Firefly, they'll get the kill. Execration. I mean, they show that Ancient Apparition made. He ends up dying, but they find 2 kills themselves, and now they're knocking on the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, after they lose this tier 1 tower, they're going to take control over the jungle area towards the left. And that's going to be a big problem for Geek fans, especially when they have a Batrider who can, you know, lasso you. So I think they are looking to defend this tower.
Geek fam? I mean, they've got Song, they haven't got Static Storm. Yeah. Naga walks in with the Song. Chuan gets in position. Oli, the best they can do is drop a kinetic field. They haven't got too much team fight. They've controlled Nando. They've got the Scream, the Ice Blast come through. Nando dropping low control by the Insnare. The Ice Blast is then defensive snowball onto the Naga side. Naga side will end up falling, but Skate is here with the Deeps. Will bring down the Gyrocopter and moves on to find the Tusk as well. Geek fam. Well, they found the Gyrocopter. And this game is so close, AB. It's like no one really has a clear advantage.
I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait for the Tinker to come online and see how the game goes.
Okay, sorry, I was looking at chat, but what is an Ancient Apparition doing in the Dire Jungle solo killing a Disruptor? I'm not really too sure.
He actually came to plant a ward.
And he found the Disruptor.
Yes, that was some luck going towards the Ancient Apparition. Grims.
I think the Disruptor was low and was probably just trying to shrine up or something. Either way, that ward should probably get dewarded. Sure, I don't know. Might check on the side of Geek fam, but Carl, he's got his Blink Dagger and things are starting to get difficult for Geek fam. I mean, all these fights, the Tinker's really been a non-factor. He hasn't been doing too much, but now with the Blink, he's gonna have he's gonna be able to position himself a little better in these fights, and I'm sure we'll see the Tinker starting to output some damage. For now, the Skid just chilling on the high ground. Nando walks up, they've got the Firefly, they get vision, the reflection will not cancel the blink. Skid control, burst damage coming down from the call down, and with the control from the snowball, they'll find the Terrorblade. Execration, they're looking to disengage though, and there's the Sonic Wave. Van finds himself a double as Skid will fall with Ollie. But here comes the Tinker, turning things around with the laser, will bring down the co-op March. Nearly blocked out by the shots. Carl still giving chase, but March, it is night time. And he will look to run away. He's the only survivor from the side of Geek Fam, and Carl will let him live as Execration find 4 and lose only their gyrocopter.
See, as I mentioned before when they were taking this mid tier 1, right? I said that as soon as this mid tier 1 goes down, they're going to take control over this left side of the of the Geek Fam jungle area, right? So that's what happened exactly. When your tier 1 goes down in the mid lane, your map is open, right?
Right.
So when your map is open and when there is a Batrider, this is what happens.
Right. I am having a little bit of packet loss, but shouldn't Skate from the high ground have gotten the reflection off first? How did Batrider still manage to get the blink off? I'm not really sure. I'm sure reflection still has like a travel time on the attack, but that Batrider just jumped in YOLO with that Firefly and set up for a good fight there. Control the Terrorblade, they burst him down with the call down, and Skid ends up being a non-factor. I think Skid's got to wait for his BKB, and even then it's only going to help versus all that magical burst coming up from the gyrocopter and the Tinker.
I mean, Chuan has been trying to find some solo kills with his Orchid.
Yeah.
But the positioning from XCT and supports were really good. So he could not find any solo kills right now.
Yeah.
I mean, for the moment. Meanwhile, with Batrider.
He's actually searching for a solo kill himself. That Observer Ward giving vision, but March will manage to run away. Carl going in a bit too early with those heat-seeking missiles. And you spoke of it. You spoke of that mid-tower falling in the amount of control that it offers Execration. And they've been abusing this to the fullest. Geek Fam kind of pressured into their own half of the map. And for the first time in 90 minutes, we're seeing a slight net worth advantage going in favor of Execration.
The only thing that can, you know, kind of take back control is this Naga illusions. If you place them in correct places, like I have lost control, then yeah, there's a chance. But then again, if you get caught into a smoke tank, I think you're going to lose your tier 2s. If this mid tier 2 also goes down, then you're going to lose more control of the map. So yeah, I think Geek Fam is up to something. Grims.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't think Execration will mind this too much. 3-4 hero smoke rotation coming out from Geek Fam, and they only find an AA. They might find Carl. Carl in the trees, nothing to cancel his TP, and Carl is going to TP away as well. Naga did have the song, but didn't use it. Down mid though, March, he's running down Nando, but he's got to be careful, doesn't want to overextend. Nando runs forward with the rocket barrage. Snowball coming out from the tusk, he's got his BKB, so the stack storm will not offer any control versus him. March escapes from the call down, and Execration, they got to catch someone on the retreat. Van does have the lasso if need be, but he's surging forward only towards Terrorblade Illusions, and he's not going to lasso any one of those.
Vivek, the pipe.
Wait, who has the pipe?
The Night Stalker pipe actually saved him there.
Oh, okay.
Didn't you wonder, like, how did he survive that fight? Like the call down and everything going on him, it was the pipe.
Yeah.
I told you, right? Even if this Night Stalker played 4th position, still this Night Stalker is going to be a very tanky hero. And here comes another smoke out of Geek Fam.
He is tanky, but you got to get that farm in. I've seen many times Night Stalkers just don't get that farm. You see Sam H, he always gets farm on his Night Stalker. I don't know how. But yeah, March, he's got the pipe and he might find the Batrider, but Van does manage to blink away. Geek Fam, they're not going to be rewarded. They pop a smoke, they don't find too much. They're still looking for the glimpse, and all he gets the vision. They glimpse back Van, they've got the ensnare, they might find the Batrider. And it seems as if Execration will not do anything to respond to that. They lose the Batrider, they lose his dominating streak. And 40 seconds without the Batrider. I wonder if Geek Fam will pop another smoke.
I want to see how Geek Fam will also do the same thing, right? Like after taking this tier 1 tower, will they take control over this area? Like near the tier 1 tower in the top lane? If they do so, then yeah, that lane will be controlled by Geek Fam, and that will give them a huge impact to come back to the game. Like, you know, find more pickoffs
Yeah.
Because your Night Stalker is also tanky, and then you have your Naga who is online right now, and you have Sleep Up. So if they take a fight somewhere here, yeah, I think that will go good for Geek Fam. Then again, they have to worry about the Shrine as well.
Yeah. They got the tier 1 tower up top. They dropped an Observer Ward behind it, but they're losing the tier 2 tower bottom. Actually, Execration are backing off. Execration, they're looking to fight at mid. March from the high ground has pushed in with the Hunter in the night, but he's going to fly right back.
I mean, Execration don't want to, pressure it hard, like to go YOLO on these towers, because they are respecting this Naga. They know that if the Naga start with Sleep,
right,
it's not a confirmed win fight for them.
Right.
But they will suffer with the Naga Sleep, because then there's a disruptor who can always static storm, because you only have BKB on the gyrocopter, right? So yeah.
Do you think Batrider? Yeah, Batrider is building for a BKB.
Yeah, he should.
He needs it, and once he picks up BKB, you're really relying on the Terrorblade to do a lot of physical damage.
Yeah, because Terrorblade is also going for BKB.
Right. I mean, if you're Geek Fam, you want to utilize this Naga Disruptor as much as possible before these BKBs come online. I just feel like Geek Fam haven't done too much with the Naga Disruptor.
Yeah, they only did it in the mid lane, I think.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
I think John's got a BKB of his own on the co-op. Yeah, he's got his BKB flying out.
The next fight will be a deciding fight, I think, for both the teams.
Yeah, next fight's going to be huge. I mean, even if Geek Fam win that fight and they don't manage to find the Tinker.
Look at March. He knows the Tinker is here.
Yeah, he knows. He's being patient. And Carl blinks forward. March finds him, pops the darkness. Has he entered the night? They've got the Orchid. They need to cancel that TP. They drop the Sonic Wave. They will not cancel the TP, but he dies in the base to the Soul Burn. Down bottom, the Van looking for a response. Has the lasso of caught March. They've got the Split Vessel. They'll control him with the shots and bring him down. They lose the Tinker, but they find some sort of a response while at mid. Skid pops the drums. He's running down Nando, but Nando, he's got his own drums of endurance and he's just a whole lot faster than that Terrorblade.
I imagine Skid shouting, "Run, Nando, run!"
Anyway, Geek Fam, they win the fight. They see their opportunity. 30 seconds without the Tinker. They'll move towards Roshan. The Ice Blast, it's back online, and they're going to throw it towards the pit. Execration know what's coming. They're going to try and contest, but this time around, they've got to be careful about the song and the disruptor. They'll start with the call down, and there's the song. Naga Siren trying to set things up. Ollie has the static storm, but doesn't want to drop it on just Nando, who's got his BKB available. Quick snowball coming up from the tusk. The Sunder is there. Skate moves on to Nando. Chuan blinks forward. They're looking to bring down the gyrocopter, and they will. The reflection doing more than enough. Lumic, meanwhile, did manage to bring down the disruptor, and he's moving forward for more. But Carl back online. A haste rune in the river, and it's the Night Stalker who's trying to bring down Carl once more. Further up, you got Lumic trying to control this Terrorblade. They managed to force out the BKB. Lumic still man-fighting March on this Night Stalker, and with the Spade Vessel and the laser, they'll find the kill. Firu trying to run back towards the shrine along with Skid, but there's Van with the lasso, catches the Terrorblade. The instead controlling the battle and the Ice Blast, barely missing the Glimmer Cape. No, the Ice Blast connected. Van got the kill. I thought the Ice Blast missed. And Lumic, he's still fighting, will end up falling to Chuan, who pops his BKB, looks towards the Batrider. Carl not in this engagement, and the Batrider gets glimpsed back. Carl looking to come back in, has the laser with the axe upgrade, will end up finding the Naga Siren, but the Static Storm is there. Carl caught right in the center. He's got to be so careful about this disruptor, but he's actually going to bring him down. The laser and the missiles, all he will fall as well. There is a dieback on the disruptor, and Geek Fam, they move towards the Rosh Pit, and they end up paying the price as Carl just proves to be too much of a nuisance. Nando cleans up Roshan, picks up the Aegis. You spoke of how huge the next engagement was, and I think it's safe to say that Execration had come out on top.
I mean, look, right, so Geek Fam had BKBs, but running into a Roshan pit when your Ancient Apparition is out, and then there is a Batrider and also a Gyrocopter. I mean, that was a mistake coming out from Geek Fam. Especially your BKB is not going to do anything when there is a like ancient operationality, right? You can't stop health, right? It's not going to affect anything. So I mean, effect on the enemy heroes, like on your health, right?
Yeah.
So that fight, that Roshan Pit fight was not a good decision coming out from Geek Fam.
Absolutely, and also Van with the flame break knocking back the Terrorblade. We are the unofficial stream. We are doing this through the watch tab, and unfortunately, I'm experiencing a little bit of packet loss. I'm not really sure what that is. So for me, it looked on my screen as if the Terrorblade didn't get hit by the Ice Splash, but I think Van did knock him back with that flame break. And Execration, small net worth advantage on the hunt once more. Van looking for a pick off. Chuan does have an invis rune. I think one thing that Geek Fam should look to do if they want to claim control of the game is pick up a gem. Pick up as many observer wards as possible and just start grouping up with the sages.
Yeah, they need to take control of one side of the map.
Yep.
And then they're good to go. I mean, that's how you turtle the game until your Terrorblade gets, you know, like a huge Terrorblade.
Well, there's a huge Terrorblade coming in. Tries to bring down Nando. They do have the reflection. Nando dropping out the Sonic Wave. That's only the Aegis. Tusk goes in with the Snowball. Lumic in the middle of nowhere. Drops the Walrus Punch, but he's going to end up falling as well. Lumic getting a bit too over eager. And with the Aegis down, Execration do not want to take a chance. But the song, did it catch? No, it didn't. Nando barely on the edges of that song ends up surviving.
Actually, that song was a feeling song, not a thinking song.
Yeah.
I felt that the thinker was there, so he just went with his feelings.
I mean, he rolled the dice. It's a level 2 song. Still got a decent cooldown, but yeah.
See, right now, I think Geek Fam need to take control of one side of the map. Like, they need to do it, or they're losing the game right now. They have to either play the bottom lane. I think they're ready to play the bottom lane because you can see one bot coming out from Oli towards this shrine. So I think they're trying to take this tier 2 down.
They haven't dropped any Tinker wards either. Should look to get some Tinker wards going as well in this bottom lane. I think Van has a gem. Let's look at this Execration. They should look to pick up the gem and start to group up, and they've done exactly that.
This is like Execration is not giving Geek Fam anything right now. They pick up the gem, they cut all the control that they have in the map. They already devoured the ward that was just planted towards the shrine.
Yeah.
So Execration is cutting off everything out of Geek Fam little by little. So this gem pickup from Van is something huge. I think Geek Fam needs to somehow, you know, force a fight with smoke and try to get this gem back. I mean, to get the gem into their hands and try to get control of the map again. Or they can say bye-bye to this game 1.
Yeah. XCTN have also got about not taking this game too late. And once he gets got a mini AoE Doom going.
I hate that spell with axe. I really do.
Yeah, it's one of the, I think probably the most impactful team fight spell there is after something like a Chronosphere or a Black Hole.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
But Carl has got his sight of fights on that Tinker. Things are not looking too good for Geek Fam. Skid, has he picked up? He's picked up his BKB, he's building towards the Skadi. Geek Fam.
So March is trying to get all the attention towards his bottom lane, trying to force them to play bottom. Because you can see Oli is ready with the Tinker Ward, right?
Yeah, Oli's got the Tinker Ward going. They're hoping that Carl makes a mistake. But Van is moving towards bottom and he's got that gem. Yeah, that Tinker Ward is gone. You know, at this stage of the game, you got to be so careful with your vision, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Execration can even buy any more wards.
Especially when there's a bad rider with Gem.
Execration, they're in a really bad place, and they're hoping that, I mean, Geek fam are in a really bad place, and they're hoping that Execration slip up. That's the only way they win the team fight.
We'll see what they're gonna do with the Naga Slave. If they actually catch the Tinker with Naga Slave, then yeah, there's a huge chance they win that fight. But if the Tinker is out, where he has Hex and Aghanims, I think yeah, the fight is gonna go bad for Geek fam.
Wait, so Tinker's gonna have buyback gold in another 400. Another 400 gold, and he's gonna have buyback. He's also building towards a BKB. Naga Siren has had enough, does end up picking up that Blink Dagger. So it's all about that song.
Yeah, it's all about the song.
Nando gets caught in the kinetic field, pops his BKB, the ensnares and Skid, just parting away with the damage. Nando ends up falling with the Sonic Wave. The lasso is there, they've got Skid, but Chuan doesn't give a damn, pops his BKB. They want to bring down the Batrider. They recognize the importance of that gem, and with the Skadi, they find Van. Geek fam fighting back in March. Chasing for more, does end up finding the Ancient Apparition. Carl being the only survivor of that engagement for the side of Execration as Grims is hounded, will end up falling. Nicely done there.
Yeah, they forgot about the gem.
No, wait, Ollie. There is a gem on the courier. Okay,
No, there's another gem on the ground.
Oh, okay, so they bought. Ollie bought another gem. Ollie brought another gem in. Either way, huge fight for Geek fam. Nando is not as invincible as he thinks he is. Sure, he's got that BKB, but the ensnare.
Yeah, I mean, Nando wasn't respecting the enemy's burst, like the Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Terrorblade is fat, right? So he wasn't respecting the damage coming out from Terrorblade. So
Oh, Carl gets caught out. They've got the Tinker. All they've got to do is run him down. Lumic coming in, looks for the snowball. The Scythe is there. Lumic will sacrifice himself to keep his Tinker alive, and Carl, he's got to be thanking his stars about that one. Lumic down, the Ice Blast does connect. It seems as if Execration want to fight this. They've got the Terrorblade with the lasso. They've got to burst him down before he gets the Sunder off, but they don't have the damage. And Skid, his Sunder on cooldown. The Naga not so fortunate, but the Stack Storm controlling Carl. Carl might just end up falling. Looks for the DP, will not be able to. Carl down, but the Terrorblade falls as well. Van doing work, ends up finding the Quap. Ollie, the only survivor looking to run, holding on to the gem. Van, his Blink Dagger coming off cooldown, has nothing to cancel this TP, and Ollie gets away to safety.
I mean, that Static Storm coming out from Ollie to kill the Tinker.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, Geek fam, they've sort of clawed their way back into this one, but it was costly. And the Tinker, he's got buyback. He had queued up a BKB. He's now going for the Dagon.
And also, Vivek, guess who is getting an extra slice of pizza? It's Lumic.
Not Ohio.
Lumic being the Jesus in this game, saving his teammates.
Absolutely. I mean, he just threw his body at them and tried to do everything to keep his Tinker alive. But yeah, Carl's got to be careful. Doesn't want to get caught out of position. I think the biggest item that we all got to keep track of is that Disruptor Ag Scepter.
Yeah.
That's the only item that matters in this game now. Execration, they've got Aegis and Cheese. And still don't think they have enough to close this game though.
And also, if you look at the Queen of Pain, she's almost done with the, what do you call it?
Nullifier.
The Nullifier. So they'll have to watch out for that as well.
Yeah. I mean, Nando, the problem is he just gets controlled by the Ensnare, and there's so much physical damage coming out from the Trailblade that Nando can't do too much. He needs that Satanic if he's looking to fight in the Ensnare. And maybe if the Nullifier comes through, he won't even get his Satanic or his BKB off. Carl, they caught Carl. Chuan? No, didn't chase. Chuan had a blink. He could have given vision for Ollie to glimpse impact, but Juan dribbling forward. Did you see that?
Yeah, he didn't want to take that risk. I think he...
Down bottom though, they've actually caught Carl. This time the Insna is there and Skid is coming. There's no way Carl gets out of this. And indeed, he's gonna end up falling.
They say that God always gives you a second chance.
Yeah. God giving Geek Fam a second chance. Carl. Carl down for 70 seconds, 74 seconds. Does end up purchasing his BKB and he still got buyback.
By the way, there's a guy who is asking for a shout out.
Okay.
Is it possible?
Sure. Who wants a shout out?
Okay, so it's none other than my Russian ex-teammate Screen.
Okay, Screen. Thanks for tuning in if you're on chat. And hope to see you more often. Ex-teammate, Russian. Did you say Russian?
Yeah, he's Russian.
Okay. Well, would love to hear who it is that you're supporting in this one. Geek Fam, they've picked
that tower.
Yeah, double damage on Skid. They don't care about the Ice Splash. March is just running in. The Wallace Punch is there controlling the Night Stalker March. He's got to respect the damage. Nando, silenced by the Orchid, cops a fair amount of damage. Snowball coming up from Lumic, goes forward. Once March hasn't got detection. The song though, from Firu. Ollie walking forward, catches both Van as well as Grimswood. Van has a BKB, gets the hell out of there. Chuan moves forward, drops the Sonic Wave, finds the gyrocopter, but that's only the Aegis. Van dropping low, will end up falling. His BKB amounting to nothing. He doesn't have buyback. Nando trying to move forward. Carl though with the axe, with the laser, doing more, but Skid with the Thunder turns things around. Carl down for 89 seconds, doesn't have buyback, and Nando controlled with the ins there, pops the cheese, looks to man up, but this is not a fight that Execration will win. Nando down for 94 seconds without buyback. Lumic moves forward with the snowball, does manage to pick up the quad, but ends up falling as well. And the good news for Geek Fam is that the Terrorblade is still alive. Lumic, the only one with buyback, but what can a Tussially do with this stage? Firu goes in with the inside. Geek Fam though, they got eyes on the prize. They're moving for the barracks and they should end up finding it.
I mean, that fight, that DD just changed the game.
Yeah, that DD just allowing Skid to just focus on the tier 3 and the barracks. They bring them down, and a couple of mistakes coming up from the cores on the side of Execration, costing them dearly. 33 seconds, the Tinker's going to respawn.
And Tinker had no buyback because he bought the BKB, but he came to the fight, instantly got sundered, and 2 hits, and the Tinker was gone and has no buyback. So yeah, that's super creeps.
Yeah, Geek Fam, they got what they came for, and March. Indeed, now they will suffer.
If someone asked me what was the turning point of this game, I would say it's Nando walking in that bottom lane without respecting the enemy. It was damage coming out from the Terrorblade.
Yep.
And he immediately gets net, even though he had BKB. He didn't like. I think he totally forgot about the Naga net, and that fight just turned everything around for Geek Fam. And then top of that, getting the double damage while they're pushing the bottom lane. Man, what else can you ask for? I'm pretty sure the Geek Fams are, smiling right now. They're like, wow, Valve has blessed us with the double damage.
Absolutely. Geek Fam doing anything and everything to make the most of every slight advantage. 1 double damage rune. Getting them 3 sides of barracks, and they've got a bunch of new items as well. Ollie's got their Ag Scepter. But Execration, they still have a fight in them. The classic Southeast Asian mentality. We're not going to tap out until we lose internet or we lose the Ancient.
Was that shots firing?
No, man. Come on. All my SEA pubs, no one taps out until the end.
I know, right?
No one taps out. While in EU, after 6 minutes of laning, the game is over for them. They start walking down mid. I actually like my SEA pubs. I like it a lot more than EU and NA. But yeah, Geek Fam pushing through bottom. Smoke of Deceit. Look for the song. The good news for Execration is that they aren't clumped up. But I think Geek Fam, they're going to be okay even just finding the Tinker or the Gyrocopter. There's the song. They've got both the support, so they want to commit this static storm for just them, and they are going to. Grims and Lumic held in place in the stack storm. They'll focus Lumic first. The Scyther Voice comes through. The laser bounces around, but so both supports end up falling. Another Hex onto March. Carl just holding his ground with his BKB. Sent back into his own fountain. The Sonic Wave is there, but Nando pops his BKB and the Satanic. They'll look to bring down Ollie. They'll get the Disruptor. They're looking for more. The Flak Cannon doing work. Chuan blinks forward. Tinker does match to blink away, but Nando caught in the instep will end up falling. Skid just outputting too much goddamn freaking damage. Nando buys back Carl with the Scyther Voice trying to control Skid in March. Refreshes, does control March as well, but there's the nullifier, there's Shuad, and there's Carl down for 88 seconds without buyback. Execration, they had one last fight in them. But Geek fam just too goddamn strong here. End up taking game 1. Beautiful stuff coming out from them.
I mean, Vivek, Execration, they had this game. It was their game, right? But that high ground fight in the bottom lane, it completely changed everything for Execration, and Geek fam punished them for their mistake. And I mean, they came top in that bottom fight and also pushing towards the bottom lane with the DD. They were being lucky there with the double damage as well, but that bottom lane, that high ground fight, they completely like massacred the Execration.
Absolutely. This is, however, a best of 3. We're going to be back with game 2. And before we get back with game 2, I've got a small little ad telling you folks a little bit more about a bunch of Indians who all worked in tech support and are now casting Dota 2. Enjoy.
Cast, Curry, Gauss, and Crusader level Dota. 4 boys fought to become the best curry casters in all of SEA. Having gone through a rigorous regimen of Bollywood dancing. And ancient Eastern vocal exercises.
Hello sir, welcome to technical support. How may I help you?
Hey, my coffee holder's broken.
I beg pardon sir?
You know you push that button on the computer and the coffee holder comes out?
Sir, no one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
They do play-by-play.
Splinter Blast from Fly, rolling bowler coming in from Jerax, he drops the Magnetize, has the urn, you got the Arctic Burn coming out from Fly, Geomagnetic Grip coming through from Jerax, Boulder Smash to follow, they bring down Chessie, and
They do SEA.
Magandang gabi, Lu! Magandang gabi! Let's see! Gago! Oh, Gago, this is Gaga! Ulol! You cannot spell Ulol without you!
Loki, B-Wake, Gambit, and Cloud X are back! Back to back! Only at AFK Gaming!
my way back to you. Until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Until you find your way back home.
Okay, folks, we are back with Game 2 between Execration and Geek Fam. You're watching the GESC Thailand close qualifiers, or the regional qualifiers as some of you call them. Geek Fam, well, they had what it takes to deal with that Tinker pick. Let's see what Execration have got up their sleeve for Game 2 though. My name is Vivek, joining me is AB. How's it going, AB?
Hi, bro. I'm doing good. I think something's wrong with your mic. Or I think it's a connection. You're breaking.
Oh, okay. It doesn't sound like robotic. Like, is it like...
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, we are back, and Execration is going with Ancient Apparition this time.
Ancient Apparition coming up from Execration. They picked it up in Game 1 as well.
Yes. And Geek Fam instantly picks up a Sand King.
I think you yourself. Yes, Moss40, we do talk to chat. I mean, the stream is running without delay, so I mean, I have an option. I can type. I can actually talk to you, and I prefer talking to you. Yeah, but there's the Sand King, and Geek Fam, they're going to pick up the tablet again.
I mean, as I said last game, you can put this tablet mid, you can run it as carry. So, I mean, you can expect anything out of Geek Fam. So, picking up heroes like this as your second pick, yeah, that confuses the enemy draft. I mean, the drafter. So,
yeah. Execration, they picked up the gyrocopter last time around to deal with this blade. It worked out early on, but oh my god, Execration, they're gonna pick up the Tinker once again.
Not again. Another Tinker game, Vivek.
Another Tinker game. I don't like this. I don't like these Tinker games.
But this time they don't have a Naga, they have a Sand King. Wait. They can still put this Sand King in offlane and pick a Naga, like last game.
Yeah, they can put this Sand King in the offlane and still pick up the Naga Disruptor if they want to. Look at Execration, look at how badly they want to protect this Tinker. They're heading out the Brood Mother straight away. I think that's smart. It's probably one of the best things that they could do.
But I still feel like Zeus is a better counter for Tinker.
Yeah, Zeus is definitely a good counter. It's just that, like, if you have a Brood Mother in the lane versus the Tinker, it could be a problem.
True.
I mean, you could... Sure, Tinker can put levels in March, but even then, I think Brood will be able to outlane the Tinker. Do you think we could see something like a Meepo pick just to lane versus the Tinker? I think the Zeus is a much better option, like you mentioned.
I think Zeus is.
Yeah.
Chuan playing Meepo. No.
Okay. He doesn't play the Meepo, does he? No?
I haven't seen. Maybe he does, but I haven't seen him play Meepo.
Okay.
Not when he was in WG though.
Okay, he was in WG, huh? Back when you were coaching them?
Yep. Then he used to play mid. He used to be carry, but then we used to switch him to play mid, and then Nana used to play carry.
Okay.
That's for TI7 qualifiers. Yeah.
Next man from Execration. What do you really ban, yeah? You.
Maybe the cop.
Yeah, I
the
was going to say
disruptor.
this disruptor. Huh. I think Geek Fam can still pick up a solid 5 position, something like the Bane. Or even just an OD or a Quap early on. They've got options. I think we might see.
Maybe they can put the Sand King off and pick a Neeks. Oh, the
yeah.
Neeks is banned by them. I didn't say that.
Okay, they banned up the Knicks themselves. Okay. I wonder if they're considering an OD early on.
I think I prefer the cop better.
Okay.
Oh, finally, Geek Fam has heard my calling.
Yeah, they pick up the Zeus. It's got to be a mid Zeus versus that Tinker, and we're going to see. We're going to probably see the Nimbus in action here. Execration. They're looking for a 4-position support. The pool is narrow. They could pick up something like the Earth Spirit if they want to. Just apply pressure on the Zeus early on in the lane. But I know Lumic doesn't play the Earth Spirit. They'll probably. Wow, the Tusk is banned as well.
What if they go for the Night Stalker?
Yeah, they're probably going to go for the Night Stalker. There aren't too many options, really. Is this... I think it's an offlane Doom, probably. Can't be a 4-position Doom. I haven't seen that in really long.
So it's like you pick up this god who is Zeus, and then instantly you pick up a Doom.
Yeah, he's probably going to try and Doom that Terrorblade as early as possible. Just ensure he doesn't get that Metamorphosis or the Sunder off. Even try and just control that Terrorblade in these fights.
Also, looking at the two heroes like Ancient and Tinker, they already they have shown their backliners, but they needed this Doom, right, to play the front line. But a hero who could run at them. So yeah, I think Doom is good. I mean, but still Centaur is open here for Geek Fam. I mean, Centaur is a good pick. You can run at them, and then you can run off as well when you're doomed, right?
Yeah.
So I still feel Centaur is a good pick, and SK and Centaur playing in the off lane, making it a dual lane. I think that's strong as well. And that's the Oli Shadow Shaman.
I like this Centaur pick that you talk about. I mean, teams always looked at the Naga side as a way to reset a fight, but a Centaur does do the same. And Geek Fam, they could definitely consider the Centaur.
And imagine you use Zeus ulti, okay, and you have vision, and if they're close by, you can immediately instantly run at them, right?
Right.
So, and also if you get doomed, if you get initiated by Doom,
Yeah,
why not?
Just disengage, run away.
Yeah.
The problem is Centaur kind of struggles in the lane, right? That's
not against the Ancient Apparition. That's why I said if the Sand King plays with the Centaur, then
it could work.
Not? Yes.
Okay. For now, though, Execration, they're looking for a core that can match up to the Terrorblade. They picked up the Gyrocopter last time around. I wonder if they're going to go with the Gyrocopter once more. What? It's a 4-position range, right? If that's even a thing.
Right. If it's a 4-position range and an Ancient, that's not going to work. Then Centaur is a good pick here, I think. Especially putting the Sand King to the offlane.
But wait, Venge and Ancient Apparition with the Chilling Touch, they do a lot of work early on in the lane.
They do, but then again, if you initiate on the Centaur, right, then there's always a Sand King to counter initiate.
Right.
Because there's an impel. Because none of your supports have like a AoE stun. Because it's only a Venji. But I think this Venji will be carry sometimes.
Okay. Geek fam, they've not got first pick after this ban phase. They're just going to ban out the gyrocopter. Execration, I think they're probably going to ban out the Razor.
Or you know what they could do? Maybe a Beastmaster pickup.
For Geek fam?
Yes.
Oh yeah. The Beastmaster could definitely work here. Have that vision, just ensure that you're keeping tabs. But wait, Beastmaster for Geek fam? Oh yeah, could definitely work. It's gonna be a safe lane tablet along with the Shadow Shaman. We might see Sand King head over to the off lane. We might see him stick in the safe lane. They ban out the Naga Siren.
Yeah, or they could like run an aggressive tri lane. Okay, that's a Venge carry.
I'm not a fan of Execration's late game really. This Venge will not be able to scale really hard. They don't have any way to deal with the Terrorblade really.
Imagine Venge having so much damage and getting caught into reflection.
Yeah.
Brah.
That's gonna hurt as well.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt a lot.
And I mean, even with the Vengeance Aura, if someone dies, their spirits won't be doing that much work because of the Vengeful Spirit. I'm not a fan of this draft coming up from Execration. I think it's going to be like... So, Venge has to really win a lane hard and they've got to fight early. A lot of teams pick up this Vengeful Spirit, sometimes with the Shadow Fiend, sometimes just by itself. The only team which I've seen have success with the Vengeful Spirit is Mineski.
Whoa. Alright, I think we all forgot about the Pugna.
I think the Pugna can work versus the Tinker, right? You drop the ward when you're sieging high ground, and Carl, he's going to be careful about spamming his spells. That's one thing about the Pugna that can work.
I think Geek family is focusing towers because they have the Shadow Shaman who could just drop the wards, and the Tinker is not going to do anything, and your Venji is not going to, come forward to defend the tower in the mid game, right? Because Venji is a hero who could get buff, could get burst down as well, and there's a partner who can always spam the blast to the tower as well, like from very far away as well. So, I think I'm going to Geek fam this game.
It's a 4 position Zeus. And a mid Pugna versus the Tinker.
Well, something interesting.
So it's offlane Sand King, right? Yeah. Okay. Either way, I'm leaning towards the Geek fam draft. Not a huge fan of Execration's draft. I don't see how they deal with this Terrorblade. The only way they hope to shut down this Terrorblade is with the Doom. And that might work for the first, say, 20 minutes. But once he picks up something like a Lincoln Sphere, maybe I don't know. He can itemize to deal with this Doom.
And also, like, Execration only has one frontliner, and that's your Doom.
Right.
Doom is also not a hero with huge amount of armor. Yeah, he can tank in the early game, but going into mid to late game, Doom is a hero who also can get burst down easily by the Terrorblade, and also the spells coming out if he has no BKB. So yeah, I think their frontline is kind of weak.
I had a request from chat to show the stun bar, and I don't know how you enable that. I'm trying to find it, but right now there's already some action breaking out. Ollie tries to walk in towards his bounty rune and ends up dying before the clock even starts ticking. Execration, they're going to draw first blood. Now, where the hell is that stun bar?
Hold on, I'll tell you. You keep casting.
Okay, I'm still searching for it. Hotkeys? Is it in hotkeys? No, it's in options.
Should be in options.
Okay, it's not here. Options. Channeled abilities. No. Okay, I haven't found it. I thought it shows by itself. I mean, I didn't know there's a way you could enable or disable that. Rubik, he's going to try and pull the creep wave. That's going to force Terblade to last hit under his star. Going to see a Pugna versus Tinker in the mid lane. I presume... okay. Thank you, Nomad Casting. I'm going to check that out, definitely. It's disable status effects. I'm going to check that. Disable status text. Okay, I have to uncheck it, I'm pretty certain. And you should now be able to see the stun bar. Well, for those of you just tuning in, you're watching the GESC Thailand Regional Qualifiers. My name is Vivek. Joining me for this one is my co-caster, AB, the ex-coach of WG Unity. We got Geek Fam facing up versus Execration. Geek Fam did manage to take game 1 despite going up versus Carl's Tinker. And Execration, they're going to go back for the Tinker once more. This time around, I'm not a huge fan of that draft. I'm still struggling to find a way or a scenario in which Execration do manage to shut down this Terblade in these team fights. A lot of heavy lifting has to probably be done by Van on the Doom. He was pretty solid on the Batrider in game 1. Let's see if he can shut down the Terblade in these team fights. And again, a Wench pick. I have very mixed feelings about Wench as a core. Let's see if Nando can prove me wrong. Let's see if he can get active early, start pushing for structures, and probably try and force objectives nice and early in this game.
I was looking at this top lane.
Yeah.
Like how this Sun King and the Zeus is trying to, harass the Venge. Especially the Zeus in the back line, spamming his arc lightning.
Yeah. Nando's also got a wand, so he's somewhat prepared for this. But they're not able to shut down March really. I mean, March is sitting at the top of the CS charts.
I mean, they can't kill him, right? I mean, it's really hard.
Yeah, these two, they can't kill him. And I think once March puts a point into the Sandstorm, he's going to be able to even dodge the magic missile.
Is he going to get the courier, Leomic? I think Geek Fam knows something's wrong, so the courier is kept there.
Yeah, courier just
the little knight warrior. Oh wait, if the courier is walking this way, oh right, it's 3 minutes.
Lumic might still find the courier because it's got to fly over him.
Yeah, but I don't think he can kill it because it's already 3 minutes.
They're going to try and bring down the Shaman instead. And look at that. They've got the damage with the Scorched Earth and the Infernal Blade. And they'll even run down Skid here. Skid has 5-1 charges. And he's trying to hold on to them. And man, just nets another kill for himself. Lumic. He's in the trees. Ollie's there with the shackles, but the Infernal Blade once again will cancel it. Lumic looking for the TP. Will be successful, but up top, Firu gets himself a double kill before he goes down here. Wench and the Ancient Apparition both end up falling. And March.
Okay, now Zeus has 1000 gold. So is he going to buy the energy booster or is he going for the soul ring?
I think energy booster.
This is more spamming coming out from Zeus. So this top lane is going to be a disaster for XCTN in a while.
Yeah, I think Zeus as a 4-position support, I've never thought about it like this. If you just run him in the offlane, if you're very certain that you're going to run him in the offlane, run some sort of a dual lane with another offlaner that can apply pressure, it can really work, right? Because A, you can pick up a bottle, pick up bounty runes, get mana. B, you're not too concerned about pushing the wave, right? If you're pushing the wave, it's only better for you. you're forcing the enemy safe laner to last it under star, and you almost force the enemy team to run some sort of a proper tri lane just to try and shut down the Zeus. And that's only good for your other two lanes. But look at this, Nando and Grims, they've had enough. They go in with the magic missile, 2-man burst strike controlling both Nando and Grims. March, does he have the sandstorm? No, he doesn't, but he's got 7 stick charges. Nando being slowed by the caustic and March. This is almost certainly another death on the vengeful spirit. But at mid, Execration find themselves a kill on the pug now.
I mean, they're losing this top lane, but the other two lanes, they're kind of winning it.
Are they winning it though? I mean, I'm good at
bottom lane. Well, the Doom is getting, some sort of farm.
The Doom is,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, he's not like completely shut down. So he has like 14 last hits. But then again, if you look at the Sand King, like he's topping the charts right now.
Yeah, and Nando's still not doing that bad as far as net worth is concerned. He's keeping up. He has died a couple of times. Both offlaners are finding farm in Geek Fam. They're keeping the pressure going on to this vengeful spirit.
I mean, with this early mana boots coming up for Zeus, that's going to be more impels and more spam coming out. So yeah, like this lane is really hard for them.
Yeah. I don't know what Nando can do to even survive. He's picked up the infused raindrops. He has 1 charges. But the amount of damage that both March as well as the Zeus can do is just insane. March lurking around the mid lane. Now I think this Dire Observer Ward did spot out his rotation, and Lumic is just chilling mid just in case March will not find the Tinker.
Bottom lane, meanwhile,
yeah, they've got the shackles, they've got Doom held in place. Kid has the reflection, doesn't have the metamorphosis, but with the Hex and the Ether Shock, have they got enough burst damage? Ollie with that 84 base damage. That's ridiculous. Who do you think has more pressure on them to win the early game really convincingly? I mean, both teams both teams want to push, right? Who has to win their lanes harder?
I think Geek Fam, because of the Pugna. I think Pugna is someone who could push faster than any other heroes right now.
Right.
Like especially when your Pugna is playing mid. So I think I think Geek Fam should win this early game.
Well,
also having a Zeus as 4th position.
Yeah, Zeus is getting his EXP though, so that's the good news. And Nando walks in. He's got to be careful. The bolt is there. The infused raindrops buying time for Nando. He's got 11 1 charges. March low on the mana, doesn't have the sandstorm, and the swap keeping Nando alive. March just pops the region and looks to turn right back. Nando, I think he's going to be okay. He's probably going to pick up the bounty rune, move on to his shrine if need be. March, walks in. The magic missile is there. March getting a little too greedy, went for the hard camp, and he's going to end up falling.
I think he was marching the wrong way.
Geek Fam, I mean, that was unnecessary, right? You're winning your offlane hard. Not hard, but you're doing well in your offlane, and then you go and die like that.
I mean, it happens. Like you take the game into your hand, then you get this feeling. I don't want this game to go this way. I just want to make it more happening. So I should go and beat them.
Exactly. Ollie. I think Geek Fam have this small window where they can try and bring down the Doom. As Lumic is actually just sitting in his fountain with the TP. And he finally decides to move mid. 9 minutes in, just like game 1, it's been an extremely close laning stage. The Pug not doing slightly better.
No, they want to go on the Doom.
Okay. Yeah, they are running down the Doom, and Van with that scorched earth is healthy up top though. The bench dropping low, turns around, finds the Zeus. March wants to go back in. He has the Burrow, the Ice Vortex slowing him down. He turns towards the A, will not find the Venge as Nando ends up surviving an Execration. They've bought in the Rubik. They're looking to turn things around. The cold feet will almost certainly proc here with the telekinesis and the magic missile. They've got enough lockdown to bring down this Sand King. Once again, March just getting a little too over eager. Ends up dying, but down bottom, Van farming the enemy hard camp. Does get caught with the shackles. The burst damage is there with the lightning bolt, and Van will fall as well. Both offlaners end up falling. How much damage has Chuan done to this mid tier 1? He's done a fair amount of work. Just by
and the cart is coming as well, so yeah.
Yeah. And I think Execration recognizes. They'll move mid themselves. They want to shut down this Pugna. Chuan, though, he's done his job here. He's found the tier 1, drops the nether one. TPs are coming in. It is the Sand King. A blast will come through. Grims has got to be careful. They burst down the Pugna, but they do end up losing that Ancient Apparition as well as the tier 1 tower.
But they're still losing to
down bottom though. They've got the shackles onto the Doom. Van pops the Scorched Earth, turns, tries to bring down Ollie, and with the damage from the Vengeful Spirit, they'll find Ollie, but they lose the Doom. And they lose another tier 1 tower. Geek fam just stepping up the heat here. Finding 2 tier 1 towers at the 10-minute mark. Down mid. March did actually cancel Carl's TP there. I think Carl was TPing bottom, but the Ice Blast coming through. March will end up falling. Carl doesn't TP bottom, but finds a kill in the mid lane, and that's going to propel him and bring him closer to his BOTs.
I mean, if you look at Nando, he has taken the magic resistance. This guy is going to be like super tanky in a while.
Oh yeah, a lot of the damage coming out from Geek fam is magical, with the exception of the Tab Blade, and with that magic resistance, it's not going to be that easy to burst him down. But yeah, now it's Execration's turn to push, and the question is, do Geek fam want to defend this? I honestly think they're better off finding the tier 1 tower up top. That's a better play coming up from them. Ollie, as he found Lumic, no, doesn't have the vision, but Chuan will get the push going.
Yeah, if you look at this shoes, like, look, he already has one of his items, like the Italians is already up, so it's gonna like be easy for him to defend these tier 2s.
Yep. And I think that's a pretty good timing on a 4 position Zeus. I'm pretty certain he didn't chip in at all in the warding department, but just having that Aether Lens 12 minutes in, that's good timing. He's trying to pull the creep wave, but there's a Centaur Conqueror just running him down, and Firu not being able to approach the creep wave. The Stomp will come through, but here's March with the Power Strike. Finds the Venge. The Decrypt is there along with the Blast. They're trying to bring down this Venge. They've got the Life Drain, but the swap. Buying time for Nando. Skid comes in and cleans up though with the Metamorphosis, and they're chasing for Van. Geek fam, they'll hold on to that tier 2 tower, and they might even find the Doom. March TPs onto the mid tier 1. Finds the Doom. Gets the Epicenter going, and with the Decrypt, they've got the damage. Ollie securing that kill for himself with the Aether Shock. And Geek fam, do they want to March goes in with the Burrow, and Lumic gets a kill. Should get a kill. Does he? No, March still alive. Pops the 1 charges, the Earn Charge upon him. He's got a regen rune, and he's going to stay alive. Pops the regen.
They actually went for Roshan.
Yeah, Geek fam, they've gone for an early Roshan, which is one of the better plays you can make, right? You want to push early, you want an early Aegis, and they're going to get it.
And the Ancient Apparition is dead as well, so...
Yeah. Scared, he's going to pick up the Aegis. He doesn't have the Metamorphosis for a good 90 seconds. And if you're Execration, you want to fight when the Metamorphosis is down, right? You want to try at least.
I think this Aegis will secure them the tier 2 towers, which will open the map for them. See, March had a good start in the lane, but it took him like 14 minutes to get the dagger because they kind of messed up that lane after winning it in the very early stage.
Yeah, those 2 deaths on the Sand King somewhat costly, but he's got his Blink, and 2 doesn't have his. Doom is Looking to build into the drums first. He's going to be tanky, but there isn't that instant initiation for Execration. I mean, honestly,
ready for the top tier too.
Yeah, they are pushing out top. The Mars Serpent ward's coming off cooldown. They got an Observer ward just to look over the shrine. They've already got an Observer ward at the Dire Ancient, looking over the shrine already. It's pretty certain what Geek Fam are looking to accomplish here. But Execration, they look for the trade as well. You got Lumic chilling with the Tinker down bottom, and I don't think Fury can stop this push. Actually, Geek Fam... What about Grims?
The ward. He planted a ward behind the tier 1 tower.
So Execration, they're probably going to look for the tier 1 tower mid. And Geek Fam, they're still waiting patiently to try and bring down this tier 2 tower up top. Carl, he's got his VOTs as well as his Blink Dagger. He's sitting on the top of the network charts. Game 1 is Tinker couldn't quite carry Execration through. And let's see game 2.
Ali is waiting with the Tinker ward.
Yeah. Problem is the mid lane is pushing. They've got out the Pug now, they've got the Telekinesis, but a Glimmer Cape keeps them healthy. Look to turn things around with the Life Drain. They find the Rubik, but they've lost their tier 1. The question is, can March find anyone on the retreat? He's got his Blink Dagger. Doesn't want to chase really. Geek Fam don't find the tier 2 tower up top. They don't defend the tier 1 tower at mid. But they can probably just march down any lane now. They've got the Aegis. They've got the Metamorphosis on the Terrorblade. And they're going to pop a smoke.
And little by little, Zeus is getting his Aghanim's. So after that comes, gonna be one of issue for Exitian, especially for the Tinker.
Yeah. Nando got out the Burrow into the epicenter. They got the Decrypt as well. Nando with the swap tries to buy time, but Ollie with the Hex and the Aether Shock. They find the Wench. Nando down for 42 seconds. He was making progress towards that Shadow Blade and Skid.
Ollie.
Wait, what? Ollie. I think he might shatter to that Ice Blast. Keeping my eyes on Ollie.
Nah.
He's gonna stay alive. They got urns. Has anyone got an urn? No.
No urn gaming.
Well, it's been once again an extremely close early game. No one really coming out on top. I think the winner of this match moves forward to play TNC. You guys can type exclamation brackets and take a look at the brackets yourselves.
sunlight. Close your eyes and just stay tight. We have to go. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me. It wouldn't be right to say always for the place where we live with certain place. Wouldn't
Hello folks, the game is live, but I've just ordered myself some lunch, so I'm going to quickly eat some lunch for the duration of the draft, and then I'm going to jump back straight into the game. So I'm going to quickly go. Everybody at AFK has been kind enough to order me a slice of pizza, and I'll be back with the game as soon as the draft ends.
You should put a scrolling ticker there saying finishing lunch, will be back for the draft.
What draft to put? What ticker to put? Eating
Lunch, will be back as soon as the draft ends.
I feel paralyzed.
seconds to battle.
Okay folks, welcome back to the GESC Thailand regional qualifiers. My name is Vivek, you're watching Clutch Gamers take on Admiral. And straight off, Skylark along with Aframush looking to contest the bounty rune here. They don't end up getting it. It is Boombacks who got the bounty rune for himself. But yeah, Clutch Gamers, new roster. Skylark all the way from Mouse Sports, or the Greek team that had a lot of success moving into Southeast Asia. This is one of the newer lineups that we haven't seen too much of. I'm really curious to see what they can accomplish. And yeah, they did have a couple of changes to the roster. You got Arjit standing in on the Terrorblade. And Clutch Gamers vying for a shot at the main event at GESC Thailand. Mid lane OD, I mean rather safe lane, Gavi on the OD, feeling the heat. It is a core Dark Willow. Aframush playing on the offlane with the Dark Willow. I'm not really sure why he started. Okay, so it is a 4-position Dark Willow, but he's just started out with a casual Null Talisman just to output as much damage as possible early on. Dark Willow and Witch Doctor being both the supports are not something you see too often. It's Admiral actually picked up the puck. So the coil and the terrorize, that's going to be coming up from Admiral with the puck. Down bottom Yol trying to babysit Arjit as much as possible. They're just trying to apply as much pressure onto this Tiny. Unfortunately for them though, the wave is pushing in. So Rappy will be able to find some EXP closer to his tower. Mid lane, Dead Prophet versus Puck. I don't think anybody really ends up falling anytime soon. Both fairly tanky, and Faded should be okay. Quickly toggling over to last hits, and yeah, Ben-Hur really coming out on top here. Bullying Faded in the mid lane on this Dead Prophet. But once Faded gets a couple of points in the Crypt Storm, she's going to be spamming that and finding farm, pushing the wave every now and then. This is a somewhat newish Admiral lineup. I mean, I'm mainly looking at familiar faces from the old Happy Feet lineup. They're going to try and bring down Yolia. They got the Avalanche. The control is there. The question is, does Arjit find the trade? And indeed, he's going to find the Tusk. And with the Metamorphosis committed, he should be okay last hitting under his own tower. Clutch Gamers, I haven't seen too much of them in any of the recent open qualifiers. I don't think they played Birmingham or Changsha or the China Super Major. They've been keeping it pretty low key here. But then the regionals. Up top, Gavi on the OD, controlled by the Curse Crown and that Centaur Conqueror Storm coming out from the Doom. They're trying to bring down this OD and Gabi. He's barely gonna end up surviving. RR even walks into the lane, gets the shards off. It's gonna cordon off Skylark from joining his Dark Willow anytime soon, but downward, Faded has the split siphon, looks to turn Boombacks, dropping low, will end up falling. Faded still holding his ground, doesn't have one charges, and Ben-Hur won't find the kill that he was looking for. Skylark getting his EXP in the soft lane, getting a lot more CS than the Tiny as well, and I think once he picks up the Doom, he's probably going to try and get active across the map. Gabby's got to be careful. He actually needs a bit of assistance in the safe lane. This Dark Willow Doom dual offlane coming up from the side of Clutch Gamers was applying a fair amount of pressure onto the OD, and Admiral, they've had no choice but to ditch the Tiny. I mean, they gave him a slight boost early on, but they have left him to his own devices. They've got to deal with this Doom. And Aframush just looking to get active elsewhere on the map. He's got a haste rune. He's running up top. Rappy's got to be careful though. Yeah, could see another cask and the Maledict. They've got the reflection tablet. Tries to sidestep that avalanche, but Rappy will manage to get away. Mid lane still seems to be a whitewash, heavily in favor of Admiral. Ben-Hur winning the mid lane hard here. I think you leave this Death Prophet alone. She's going to start finding farm. And I think the good thing about a Death Prophet is even without farm, she's somewhat effective across the map. I think just EXP could be enough for her to get involved in an early fight once she obviously picks up something like the phase boots. Yeah, he's got 2 null talismans, and so he's got that extra base damage to work with, or that damage to work with. Peaceful start to the lanes. Admiral quite confident that in the later stages of the game, this OD will be able to match up versus the tab lane. Down bottom though, Rappy's got to be careful. He's got the avalanche, but the cask is bouncing between him and that siege creep. He will manage to toss back the Terrorblade, and there's Ben-Hur, the coil, the snowball. They're trying to bring down this Terrorblade, but he pops his one charger. Arjit still standing strong, not level 6, doesn't have the Sunder. The orb will not connect. And Admiral not going to find the kill onto the Terrorblade, but up top, Skylark and Aframush striking back, find the OD for themselves. Clutch Gamers. Well, they're looking to keep the pressure going. They've got the Sunder boombacks looking for the Impale, will control the Terrorblade for a bit. Y'all whiffs on the Maledict. And Metamorphosis committed. Clutch Gamers will not end up finding too much out of their first Metamorphosis. They're trying to apply the pressure up top, and they've actually shifted the OD mid, which I somewhat like, considering the fact that the Death Prophet was heavily shut down. They're trying to get the OD a better lane to work with, and Ben-Hur, he's sacrificing his farm. The problem is, all Clutch Gamers have to do is start grouping up and pressuring objectives. Ben-Hur can't defend the wave all by himself, and while OD is playing catch-up, Clutch Gamers are busy claiming towers for themselves. Down bottom though, they might lose the Terrorblade. Arjit gets the Sunder off the cask, bounces onto boombacks. They'll get the Nyx Assassin, and they're searching for Rappy as well. They don't have another reflection on Arjit. Not for a good 7 seconds at least, but he seems to have the damage going. He's chasing, and this Greed could get punished. He still might find the kill though. Arjit being extremely persistent does end up being rewarded for it, but Admit, faded, controlled in the coil, will end up falling. The shots from RR netting him the kill there. Admiral, they do manage to strike back, but Clutch Gamers just getting so much more out of the map. OD, I mean, Gabby's been forced to put an end to his laning phase just 8 minutes in, and all he's got is a boot, a wand, and a null talisman. This safe lane didn't go quite as planned for Admiral. In my books, they've lost out of 3 lanes. Sure, Rappy's not been entirely shut down, but he's been shut down quite heavily. Ben-Hur is the only one who's looked good from all 3 lanes and of all 3 cores on the side of Admiral. And look at this. Clutch Gamers, they recognize the fact that this OD's been shut down. They're going to run down Gabby. Gabby has the 1 point in the Astral, but the cask is there. They get the Doom off. They're just going to run down this OD. The shards, though, they do block off Skylark. Between a shard and a tree, Skylark is possibly going to end up falling here. Gabby does tick down to the Maldic, though. They got what they came for, and Clutch Gamers, they don't really have any sort of a response. They can't even... or rather Admiral, no response to the aggression coming up from the Doom and the Witch Doctor. Down bottom, RJ just pops the Metamorphosis, starts pounding away on this tier 1 tower. I'm really worried for this OD. He's got the Aquila complete. But yeah, Admiral there in a bit of a spot. Do we keep trying to protect this OD? Or do we deal with the pushes coming in from all across the map? For now though, they'll find the Dark Willow. But look at the damage from Arjit. Spawns away on the puck. Gabby. Well, he's been relegated to farming the small camp. Faded. He's found some space. I'm going to switch over to net worth. It is the Terrorblade. It is Arjit sitting right at the top of the net worth charts. The OD really struggling. Barely 200 gold ahead of her own offlaner. And the OD not exactly known for flash farming in any manner. And once again, Clutch Gamers start moving towards the top lane. Not a single word for Gabby and this OD to get any information as to where Clutch Gamers are. And Faded, he's just going to go in with the silence. The silence does clip. Y'all diving, has the cask, has the death ward as well. The cask bounces around. Gabby has the defensive Astral. That's going to buy him some time. Boombacks with the spike caprice, looks to turn, lands a 2-man impale. The coil is there. OD looking to TP out Gabby. I think he's going to make it home back safe, but Boombacks not so fortunate. Rappy looking to turn, Faded, wants to run forward. The Bramble Mace is there. The Terrorize is well controlling the puck. Puck copping a lot of damage. The silence coming through, and Faded gets himself a triple kill. Clutch Gamers, they came for the OD. They got 2 other cores and a Nyx assassin, and they find themselves the tier 2 tower. Gabby, just looking to play catch up here. Trying to find whatever space on the map he can and just catch up in the farm department. But I think Clutch Gamers have recognized this. All they have to do is just group up, and Admiral will be fighting with 1 core that's absolutely ineffective. The OD really can't do too much without farm. He's trying to build into a herd. I'm not really sold on that bit of itemization as well, because a lot of the damage coming up from Clutch Gamers is magical. Skylark, he's found Gabby once more. The Infernal Blade, the Doom, he wants to run down this OD. There's not much that Rappy and Boombacks can do to stop him. The Infernal Blade coming through once more, and Skylark gets himself another kill on the OD. They're going to try and punish him though. 4 heroes surround the Doom, bring him down. And they might find the Witch Doctor. Y'all does snap the coil in the fountain and ends up dying as well. But Clutch Gamers are going to start chipping away on the tier 1 tower mid. Afromush going for the Tranquils and the Winlay. So many Dark Willows valuing movement speed with the Bedlam. Boomback, so he's got some real heavy lifting to do. Gotta probably try and set off for as many pickoffs as possible. And he's gonna do just that. Moves through the mid lane with the Vendetta. But this is not a place where Admiral can back him up. Instead, they found Arjit and they burst him down. RR, Rappy and Ben-Hur moving together find themselves a tablet, and Boombacks might find Yol as well. Yeah, he's just waiting for reinforcements to get underway. Vendetta hit Impale. Witch Doctor controlled and Witch Doctor bought down by the 3 toss coming up from Lappy. Faded. He's got his Yule Scepter complete. It's gonna help him get rid of the Waning Rift and even survive some of the burst damage coming up from the Tiny and the Tusk. And yeah, it seems as if Clutch Gamers will start grouping up towards the bottom lane. They've got the Exorcism. I was just gonna say I don't think they need to commit it, but they're not taking a chance here. Archit making his way towards his team. Does have a Yasha complete. And they'll get this tier 1 tower bottom. Faded can even TP back mid if he wants to. And start applying some pressure at the tier 1 mid as well. I want to see Clutch Gamers group up a bit more. They still have this window where the OD is trying to catch up. And they need to abuse that window as much as possible. Don't give the OD time to catch up. And all that Admiral have to do is turtle. Buy time for the OD. Find pickoffs when Clutch Gamers get sloppy. Keep the vision going. And Admiral, they're doing exactly that. They're buying space for the OD. They might find Aframush. And they've got the Waning Rift to control her. Ensure that she doesn't go into the Shadow Realm. They found the Dark Pillar. They are copying a fair amount of damage themselves. Faded does have the Yule Scepter. That's going to cancel the Tusk's TP. And Faded should find himself the enemy 4 position in exchange. It's also a killing spree given away. Boombacks trying to get the D-ward going. Now Yol does have a sentry, but there isn't any instant catch, and Boombacks will manage to get the D-ward and get away as well. Gabby's still finding that space to play catch up. And Faded eyeing that tier 1 target mid. Clutch Gamers, they need to make the most out of this small window. The small window in the OD is underfarmed. I like that Skylark didn't go for the Shadow Blade, went for the Blink instead. That's going to allow him to jump in and doom the OD instantly. And Faded might be able to cancel the TP here. He's got it. Nyx Assassin. Corpus spans down. Should probably end up falling the cast. Bounces around. They got the Cursed Crown as well. Boombacks does end up dying. I think this Radiant Observer did scout him moving into the high ground. Tiny still searching for that blink. Should have it. Not too bad, all things considered, honestly. Rappy was having a rough start, but he's got his blink. And yeah, I mean, Admiral, they're going to start itemizing and worrying about this too. Skylark, provided he gets his initiation on point, he's going to be a real force. He looks for Benna, but the phase shift was there. And that's Skylark's blink tagger reveal. And look at this, Admiral just backing off, grouping up. Papa Smoke can look to go once more. They know the Doom does have a blink tagger. They're going to try and abuse this as much as possible. We've got Clutch Gamers Papa Smoke of their own. Faded is showing in the mid lane, and he's got to be cautious about this. You don't want the Dead Prophet getting burst down at the beginning of the fight, and they're going to try and do exactly that. The Avalanche is there. They've got the Walrus Punch, the Yule Scepter. Buys time. The Terrorize not coming through. Faded still being controlled, and finally with the Terrorize they get sent back. Split Siphon and the Bramble Mage doing enough to bring down the Tiny. While Boombacks is on the run, the OD ends up falling in Skylark. He's chasing for more. Does get the Infernal Blade, but I think Clutch Gamers pretty much got what they came for. And that's the tier 1 tower. They immediately can transition this into Roshan. They've still got the Metamorphosis, a good amount of time on the Exorcism, and they should get Aegis. Don't think Admiral has any idea what's going on here. Yeah. Aegis secured. Clutch Gamers with a small net worth advantage. Ajit even itemizing to ensure that the puck is not too much of a nuisance. Going for the Manta style just to dispel that waning rift. And Skylark getting his BKB as well. Ouch. I mean, Clutch Gamers gotta be feeling on top of the world right now as they bump into Ben-Hur. The Bramble Maze is there. He has the Yule Scepter, and with the phase shift he's gonna blink away. Skylark though still giving chase. Won't find too much. Up top, Skylark. Once again, trying to prep for this OD, but he's got to be careful. Admiral, they're going to try and drive the Doom. He pops his drum charge, moves into the trees, has the Scorched Earth regen, but the burst damage, just too much from Admiral. As they find themselves the Doom, and Clutch Gamers, they haven't got the Exorcism, but yeah, they haven't got the Metamorphosis either, so they can't really try and find some sort of a trade. They can't fight at this stage of the game either. Their team fight isn't particularly strong, and Admiral recognizes without the Doom they're looking to force the issue. They try and bring down the Witch Doctor. That's a kill that they can get, but they might lose Boombacks. The Curse Crown coming through, Faded standing in the coil, doesn't give a damn. The Terrorize is there, but Rappy blinks forward, has the Avatar. She wants to bring down the Dead Prophet. The Bedlam though wrecking havoc here. Spock forced to use his own Yule Scepter, tries to jaunt away with the Curse Crown, connecting on two. Tiny will end up falling in Gabby. Control brought down by Archit. Can only watch as Clutch Gamers start knocking on the tier 2 towers of Admiral. Quick sun. Wait, who did he sunder? I heard the sunder, but not really sure what he did there. Either way, Clutch Gamers, they lose a Witch Doctor. They find themselves the Tiny, the OD, and the Nyx Assassin, and they're going to be pretty pleased about that one. Ajit building towards that Skadi, and I'm really not seeing it. I'm really not seeing how Admiral deal with this Terror Blade. Once he picks up the Skadi and a BKB, there are really no answers to deal with Ajit. Dark Pillars even picked up a Blink Dagger. Even more teamfight control coming out from the side of Clutch Gamers here. These three though, I mean, they've got to keep looking for pickoffs and buying time for their OD. Look at the vision also coming up from the side of Clutch Gamers. They want to control the map. They're looking at both runes, which, I mean, they're nearly looking at both runes. Not something you see too often. Skylark getting closer and closer to that PKB of his, and there's really no way that Admiral can burst down this Doom or even bring him down. The OD, I mean, the OD's damage means nothing once the Doom pops his PKB. There's really not too much physical damage, and Boombacks gets caught. Spike Carapace buys him a bit of time. He has the Vendetta, but they got the vision. Faded did have a rough time in the lane, but he's doing a fair amount of work in these team fights for Clutch Gamers, and they're going to start grouping up and pushing for a tier 2 tower. Faded has his BKB. Arjit nearly has his Cardi. And they're just going to pop the Exorcism for this one. First Roshan. First stages, they're going to try and claim as many tier 2 towers as possible. Just get map control going. And it seems as though Admiral recognized that at this moment they can't really pick a head-on engagement versus clutch gamers. I mean, Admiral just avoiding the 5v5 team fights, trying to split push as much as possible, buy time. But the question is, buy time for what? I don't see this OD picking up any item that's really going to be a game changer for her. I don't know. Things are not looking that good for Admiral. Well, Boombacks, at least she's got that Spirit Vessel. Gonna help to some extent versus the Death Prophet. I think this game, irrespective of the outcome, is looking so much in favor of clutch gamers. Not because clutch gamers played really well. It's because Admiral sort of goofed up as far as laning is concerned. Setting that OD up top and not securing the OD's lane really cost Admiral. 8 minutes in, clutch gamers just broke all conventions and norms of the laning phase and just started grouping up looking for towers. And with the OD not having any farm, there was nothing that she could do. And Admiral basically had to try and defend towers 4v5. Really couldn't do anything. And clutch gamers are going to claim that last tier 2 tower. Say what you want about tier 1 and tier 2 tower gold bounty, but it's still a lot of map control. And yeah, Admiral, they've got to be extremely cautious when they push out these lanes. They're no tier 2 towers, so it's not going to be easy for teammates to TP and back each other up. Even then, 27 minutes in, it isn't a huge net worth disadvantage for Admiral. They can still find pickoffs. That's what they've got to do. They've got to smoke, got to have Nyx Assassin lead the way, find as many pickoffs as possible before clutch gamers get the next Roshan, get Aegis, get a gem. Because after that, it's going to be very difficult for Admiral to find any way to get back into this game. Yeah, they need to keep doing this. Rappy on the tiny bit, the Shadowblade needs to keep finding pickoffs, but he might be the one getting picked off here. No, he's gonna blink away. Faded, fresh 10-second BKB. Just pushing out the side lanes. I mean, there's only one thing that can cancel his BKB TP, and that's the Tusk. And this is what Admiral need to do. Go find pickoffs. They're on the hunt, but Skylark in position, trying to disrupt this play coming up from Admiral. They're going to find the Dark Willow. They'll burst her down. Skylark whiffing on the Centaur Conqueror Stomp, looking for Boombacks. A Yule Scepter coming out from Fader to offer control, and they'll find the Nyx Assassin. It's a Nyx for a Dark Willow. And I think this is something that clutch gamers will be okay with. Benna does have that link in space, so it's not going to be easy to just throw out the Doom on him. Problem is you still got to worry about the silence coming out from the Death Prophet, who's now got a gem as well. It's quite clear what clutch gamers are looking to do. They just want to move towards the Rosh Pit, get Aegis. Admiral. Okay, RR barely TPs out. But yeah, Admiral, they've got to resort to moves like this. Cut the creep wave, push out the side lanes as much as possible. And delay Clutch Gamers from grouping up for as long as possible. What? Benha? Barely escapes. Barely escapes. The Urn Charger, that's going to cancel his blink. The silence is there. Aframush goes in with the Bedlam. The Yield Scepter, buying time for Benha. And he's going to orb and jaunt away. Clutch Gamers, they aren't too bothered. They're just going to move into the pit. And they're going to start working away on Roshan. Even committing the exorcism. But up top, this wasn't necessary. Skylark gets picked off. That's 50 seconds without the Doom. Admiral, they probably should look at contesting Roshan. I'm pretty certain they know what's going up. Look for the steal from Benha. Silence pushing him back. RR goes in, snatches the Aegis. Admiral still making plays. Now Benha goes to the backlines, drops the coil, controls both Aframush and Yule. But in the pit, RR will finally end up falling. Faded on a monster kill streak. The Bramble Maze toss clip boom back. He's looking around, but there's Aframush. With the Bedlam, they'll get the Nyx Assassin. And Benha, still searching for the Witch Doctor, will finally end up picking up the kill on the Yule. And Admiral, what? Skylark catches out Benha on the park, finds him with the Centaur Conqueror stop, has the Doom, and this should most certainly be a death on the park as Benha ends up falling, his mega kill streak taken away. Clutch Gamers, they're pissed. They did get sloppy for a moment, and it did cost them. They don't have the Aegis, but it is 70 seconds without the puck, and they're looking to get as much damage done as possible. Ajit just standing his ground, quick curse crown on a Gabby. Gabby being controlled, Skylark with the Centaur Conqueror Storm. There's a Glimmer Cape, but they got detection. They'll power away in the OD. That's 65 seconds without the OD. She does have buyback. Tusk goes in with the slow ball, but he's going to be brought down as well. The physical damage from Arjit, just too goddamn much. OD walks in, gets control once more. The toss is there onto the Dark Willow, but it doesn't make a difference. Rappy being chased and hounded. Skylark with the Scorched Earth has that movement speed, but have Clutch Gamers really just won game 1 here? I think this should be at least 2 lanes of barracks. They haven't got the exorcism, but they got a little bit of time on the Terrorblade, and Skylark, he can frontline and just tank up the tower if need be. Admiral lost the plot all of a sudden, and yeah, with the Solar Crest and all those illusions, they're going to claim another lane of barracks. Buyback coming out from the Tiny. Benha has respawn. He's going to try and TP, and they want to bring down this Terrorblade. The Terra is coming through. Will control both the Tusk as well as the Nyx, but Rappy goes in with the toss, throws Arjit back. But Arjit with the Sunder just heals up to full HP and starts pounding away on the melee barracks. They even commit the exorcism. They haven't got the Aegis, but they've got the cheese. And if they want to, they can even move on to the bottom barracks. But they're going to back off for now. Clutch Gamers finding 2 lanes of barracks and a 16,000 net worth advantage for themselves. Admiral, at best, they can... I think you've got to do 2 or 3 things if you're in Admiral's position right now. Farm buyback, split push without getting picked off, which the puck can do, and find pickoffs as and when you can. The Tiny and the Nyx, they got to group up and find these pickoffs together. Rappy really hasn't gotten too much done. I mean, with a couple of... other than a couple of pickoffs, this Tiny hasn't gotten too much done. Gabby, I think he literally has 1 kill to his name. No, he has 2. The OD has 2 kills to his name. But things not looking that good for Admiral here. Now you even got a Halberd on the Doom. So Skylark, he's got a way of triggering that Lincoln Sphere. And Admiral, I think more than anything, they've got to rethink that game plan altogether for game 2 of this best of 3. They are moving together though, and Boombacks is giving a fair amount of vision with their Vendetta. They might find Aframush. He does manage to get the Shadow Realm off, and the Hex is there from Faded. They're trying to punish Boombacks on the Nyx Assassin. They've got the control with the Malik. They'll try and bring him down, and they get the Nyx. Aframoosh moving forward with the Bedlam Skylark. He got the Doom off. It's on to the OD. The Glimmer Cape though, buying time for the OD as she tries to run away. Ben-Hur, Lincoln Sphere triggered, will manage to escape, but there's Faded. Has the Cyclone from the Yule Scepter. But Puck has a Yule Scepter of his own, and Ben-Hur will manage to jaunt away for the time being. Aframoosh though, still giving chase. I don't think Clutch Gamer should be too bothered. I think the real win for Aframoosh here is, yeah, he's trying to cancel Ben-Hur's TP. Meanwhile, mid lane, Snowball coming out from the Tusk onto Skylark. They're trying to burst down this Doom. Rappy blinks forward, doesn't get too much done. RR, controlled by the TB, will end up falling. The Scary doing real work, and there's Faded. Has the exorcism, while Arjit just pounds away from range. The BKB coming out, the coil is there. Controls both Faded and Arjit, but no one dares to touch this Terrorblade. Sanity's Eclipse committed. Sunder coming out from Arjit as he pops the cheese, turns towards Boombacks, finds the Nyx Assassin. The OD will fall as well, in Admiral simply overwhelmed by this Terrorblade, and the Death Prophet will end up tapping out here as Clutch Gamers take game 1 of this best of 3. Fantastic stuff coming out from Clutch Gamers, and I think it was all that top lane which went so wrong for Gabby. I think Clutch Gamers, you give them 6 minutes, they figured out which lane it is that they're winning hard, and they just start grouping up. Knowing that a core has been shut down, they just start grouping up, pressuring objectives, doing it though with discipline. They didn't overextend at any stage of the game. And Admiral, I think they've got to win at least 2 out of the 3 lanes. That's the big issue for them. Anyway, folks, this is game 1 of a best of 3. We got game 2 coming up next. My name is Vivek. You're watching the GESC Thailand regional qualifier. We'll be back for game 2 between Clutch Gamers and Admiral.
Oh, I could be all it is you need, 'cause we are trying to find a way to feel. If I could sleep, I'd dream of what we'd be, but I can feel you slip further from me. Oh, it makes it hard to be when you are all that I want but don't have, and I'll run into the sea, follow this heart that escapes me, it escapes me, and I'm lost. Forget me, all I was and become everything, all I Although it feels like heaven, I can't wait forever. Old habits are hard to break, I'm losing soul, it sends me to the peak. Can't we find any light without the music around? There will always be one love on life. Without no love, you got no regret. Without no revenge, you got no love. up every morning, I wish the day would end, because a day without you in my life, I don't know how to mend. And I was like, eh, 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 oh, 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 oh. You were like, eh, 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 no, oh, no, oh. I was like, eh, 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 oh, 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 oh. You were like, eh, 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 no, oh, no, oh. Come on, let's rewind till I smile, that look upon your face. My heart is empty and unguided, a blind leading chase. I thought I had a plan with you and me. Was the villain of my own dream, breaking me down to my knees. I look right at the mirror, wondering if I'll be okay. My head is telling me nothing, it's got nothing left to say. And I was like, eh, 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 oh, 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 oh. You were like, eh, 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 no, oh, no, oh. I was like, eh, 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 oh, 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 oh. You were like, eh, 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 no, oh, no, oh. Come on, let's rewind till I smile, that look upon your face. My heart is empty and unguided, a blind leading chase. I thought I had a plan with you and me. Was the villain of my own dream, breaking me down to my knees. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for forever. I'll meet you at the hideout, where we can dream again. I'll tell you all my secrets, wearing courage like a second skin. The kids are all dying, we're dying to believe again. Run through the open streets, we take what is needed. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for forever. We can dream on. scenarios. We're skating on clouds of fire. The kids are all dying. We're dying to believe again. Run through the open streets. We take what is needed. Open up the skies. See the heavens clearer. I could change your mind. We know where we came from. Set our hearts on fire. The dreamers are all here. We could change your mind. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for it forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for it forever. We can dream all night till the sun rises. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for it forever. Get down to the B side. Get down to the B side.
Okay, folks, looks like game 2 between Clutch Gamers and Admiral is live. And game 1, Clutch Gamers just walking all over Admiral with that small advantage they got out of the laning phase. This time around, though, Admiral, they've drafted slightly stronger lanes. They've got a mid Viper, which is good, and hopefully be able to shut down Faded. Benhard wasn't the problem. He was okay in game 1. But it was the safe lane which was an issue, and this time around Gabby's going to be playing the Tiny, so Admiral clearly wanting to play a faster pace of game. They've drafted a lot of team fight with the Tide and the Naga side, and Clutch Gamers, they don't have big cooldowns, but let's see what they're all about. For now though, Clutch Gamers are smoked up, they're on the hunt. I don't know who they're going to find out of this. They might bump into Rappy here. Yeah, the shards blocking him off. He actually eats a tree to get his way out of there. And he's checking on the bounty rune. Skylark. Once again on the off lane. He was pretty darn good on that Doom in game 1. Let's see if he can find similar success in game 2. Admiral just forcing the bounty rune at the bottom lane. It looks as if they might get 3, yeah. No, Skylark did get the bounty rune, and Boombacks with the root might actually find the kill here. Skylark might give away first blood, and Admiral, they are actually still searching for the 3rd bounty rune, and they're gonna get it. First blood, 3 bounty runes. Yeah, that's a lot of money going towards the Viper. Well, Clutch Gamers, they're still on the hunt here. They haven't found too much, and yeah, they're safe lane back under the tier 1 tower. Arjit, he's gonna have to try and deal with the wave closer to his tier 1. It might end up pushing eventually. Depends actually on who clears the wave quicker. I think, yeah, it's gonna end up pushing into Rappy. Y'all got the Earth Spike, but yeah, Rappy's going to be getting his EXP. Going to be once again boosted a bit by RR here. Saw that in game 1 as well, where 4 position was trying to help out the offlane, and this is what 4 positions tend to do. Aftermoon's doing the same for Skylark, just trying to help him out as much as possible. Mid lane, what's it looking like? This time around, the Faded is doing a lot better on the Dead Prophet. One thing to note about the Admiral lineup is that they have no real scalability into the late game. The Luna's gonna scale hard, and their best hope is to burst her down. But once she gets a BKB or Butterfly and whatnot, Admiral, they're gonna have real issues dealing with this Luna. Faded this time around, just looking a lot better in the mid lane. Has a slight level advantage over Benna as well. So this Viper pick not working out as planned. And Boombacks might probably help find a kill on the Skylark here. They've got the tree toss, and they'll find the kill. Ouch. Are you guys hearing that drilling noise? There's some construction work going on outside the studio. Down bottom though, Rappy, controlled with the Scythe of Fires, does decide to backstroke his way out of the tower, out of the trees rather, but they've got the control. The Earth Spike is there. Arjit will get the kill onto the Tide Hunter. So both offlaners end up falling. At mid, Ben he's got to be careful. The split siphon coming through the shards as well. He's got the fairy fire, but they should get the kill. Aframush even leaving it for the Dead Prophet. Skylark, recognizing that the Dark Willow is out of the lane, just tries to pull the creep wave. And he's gonna get away with it. More EXP for him under the tower. Good stuff coming up from Skylark here. Having the awareness to recognize that the Dark Willow made a rotation. Pulls a big fat creep wave for himself, and that's gonna help him get closer to his helm on the Dominator. Gabby's getting farm too. He's getting a lot of farm, and I think we might see him get that early blink and just start getting active across the map. Jesus, what is this? Guys, I'm gonna try and deal with that sound. Mid lane, Benher finds a kill onto the Dead Prophet. Sorry about that. There's some construction work going on, and there's really nothing I can do to stop this. It's going on the road outside, but it's really loud. Skylark walks into the Bramble Maze. The Avatos is there. He doesn't have one charges, but he's got the shield. And Gabby might have probably overcommitted. He'll find the kill, but the tower and Aframush will have enough between the both of them to bring down this Tiny. Not ideal for Gabby there. You don't want to end up falling this early on. Arjit and Yol recognize the fact that the Naga sign moved up top, try and apply a little bit of pressure onto the Tide Hunter. Okay, 1 second guys, I'm going to go AFK from the computer and just try and fix this. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that folks, there's nothing I can do about it. It's happening outside on the road. And Rappy, still quite tanky, won't end up falling that easily. They're going to need the Eclipse to come through. We'll start with the Lucent Beam, the shots are there. Actually, they're not even going to use the Eclipse. They're just going to run down this Tide Hunter. They'll get the kill. Admiral not bothering to back up Rappy there. And Skylark once again finds himself the creep wave. This time Boombax is there with the Bramble Maze. It's going to proc twice. But even then Skylark, he's going to get away with this. Going to cop a fair amount of damage. But he's got the Aphotic Shield. Skylark definitely doing a lot better in the CS department as compared to Rappy on that Tide Hunter. Aframush, he's got the urn complete. And he's going to block the wave, try and get it to meet closer under his own tier 1. So find some EXP for himself. He's hitting level 6, 8 minutes in, 9 minutes in. Where the hell has Aframush got all this farm from and EXP from? Wow. So, I mean, he doesn't even need the tomb. He could probably give it over to the line. And both supports getting a fair amount of EXP early on here. That first shots, it is Gabby on the top on that Tiny. He has found a fair amount of kills. It was the stack he was cleaning up as well. But the mid lane is a bit of a problem for Admiral. You pick up a Viper, you want to shut down the enemy mid laner, and Ben-Hur hasn't quite done that. I mean, sometime around the 40-minute mark, this Luna is going to become a real problem for the side of Admiral. And if they keep giving away kills every now and then, like the Tiny getting picked off, things could just get even worse for Admiral. Their lineup, the Admiral lineup, it excels at grouping up early and fighting fights early. But they are going to find the line at mid. They might even find the Luna. Ben-Hur looking to turn, finds himself a double. Messy engagement at the mid lane. I was pretty much looking at top where Clutch Gamers were looking for a tier 1 tower themselves. They don't end up getting it. And the guy outside drills in agreement. Jesus. Tusk, Aframush. Okay, he's okay. Guys, I mean, I could just shut down the stream probably. If you folks want me to do that, I can. Yol does end up dispelling that smoke coming up from Gabby and the Naga Siren. Aura's smoke doesn't dispel, so Gabby should know that something's wrong here. At mid, the Bramble Mage does clip, does connect on the line. They've got a sentry. They'll try and bring down Yol, and he's going to end up falling. Down bottom though, Aframush sees Ben out of position, takes Ajit with him. Ben-Hur looks to fight with the Viper Strike, but the damage too much. Ben-Hur will fall. The ensnare is there from Aura though, and with the Nether Toxin, they'll find the trade. They find the Luna, and they might find more. Curse Crown upon Aframush. He's got the snowball coming off cooldown in a bit. He has juked them somewhat, but the ensnare and the Bedlam means that he's a dead man. And even though he had the snowball, didn't bother using it. Yol TP's in, doesn't get the deny. And Admiral get themselves that tier 1 tower that they were looking for. I spoke of this. Admiral, they got to group up early. They got to force fights early. Because if this game goes later and later, once again, I really don't see them dealing with this Luna. Skylark, he's got the Helm of the Dominator complete, and even has a clarity, so he's going to keep probably just setting himself in this top lane and keep the push going. Faded, just running down Rappy here, commits the exorcism but has nothing to cancel the TP. He gets the kill nonetheless. Rappy ends up falling in. Clutch Gamers, they can start to look for this tier 1 tower up top. Ajit, he's got the Mask Command is complete, wants to group up early with his side. Aura though, just sitting in the trees, has the Song of the Siren, but won't use it. It seems as if Admiral are looking for trades across the map as Gabby's pushing up for the bottom tier 2. But it's not going to get too much work done. Meanwhile at mid, Ben-Hur with the dominated siege creep tries to clear out the creep wave. Up top, they've got Faded in the ensnare. Curse Crown upon him. He's got the Split Siphon, the Song to reset, but RR giving away a little bit of his health second by second to that Death Prophet. They've got the Bedlam and the Avalanche to try and burst down the Death Prophet. Snowball coming through. Faded looks to turn him with the Eclipse. They get Gabby. Admiral set up with the song. They end up losing the Tiny and they might lose Moya. Boombacks looking for the Terrorize. Will end up getting it, but faded with that one last auto attack. Will get the Dark Willow. Admiral, they've been extremely scarce with the use of the Ravage, and I think they need to use it a bit more. 14 minutes in, Rappy. He's chosen not to participate in team fights, but look at this, he has less net worth than the enemy 4 position. Not a good sign there for Admiral. And once again, Clutch Gamers, keep the pressure going. Rappy seems like he's had enough. Wants to start joining his squad in these team fights. And TP's mid. He's somewhere between a Helm of the Dominator, a Hood of Defiance, and an Arcane Boot. 14 minutes in, he hasn't completed any one of these items. First, Benher might look. Benher, he's completed his own Helm of the Dominator. He's got his Yasha flying out as well. I mean, they're all itemizing to fight early, but Admiral aren't really fighting early. That's the issue. Faded. He's got his Yule Scepter complete. He's inching closer and closer to that hood. Might need something like an Aeondis just to survive the burst coming out from the Tide and the Dark Willow and the Tiny. Or you could just skip the Aeondis and pick up a BKB, which he did in game 1. And I think we might see him do something similar this time around as well. You're just trying to farm his Blink Dagger, but Gabby, he's found him. And Gabby with his Blink Dagger picks up the line while the rest of Admiral, they're marching down mid. Up top, Skylark has his own push going without it, but Admiral, they've had enough of the cat and mouse. They want to fight. They want to force Clutch Gamers to take a team fight with the Ravage. But Skylark, you're just going to drop the Euphoric Shield. They commit the Ravage. Definitely overkill. And it is overkill indeed if they don't get this kill. But with the break at the Bedlam, the Ravage, the Terrorize, they'll find themselves one measly Abaddon. Arjit getting closer and closer to his Manta style. And yeah, Faded skipping the on this, going for that BKB. And I really like how Faded on this, that Prophet keeps moving from lane to lane and he's constantly looking for objectives. As soon as he's got the exorcism of cooldown, this guy shows up in a lane, takes the tower and gets the hell out of there. Up top though, Admiral, they'll find themselves a tier 1 tower. They haven't got the Ravage. Clutch Gamers might possibly consider picking a fight. The break and the Viper Strike though does hurt in Skylark. He's got the Euphoric Shield, he's gonna be okay. Admiral looking to disengage, Faded running forward, the Curse Crown will control him. And Admiral, they're out of there. Aframouche also ends up falling in the mid lane. Small wins for Admiral, yeah. Rappy ditches the idea of the Arcane Boots, gets the Soul Ring and gets the Arcane Boots. Sanjay Yasha, nearing completion on that Viper. And Boombax, he's getting the Veil of Discord. Jeez. That magical damage from this Dark Veil is gonna be ridiculous. But Clutch Gamers, they're grouped up. They're grouping up, they're popping a smoke. This is into tied with the Ravage available. Still might get something done with this. Admiral, they're the ones who have popped the smoke as well, and they're moving towards the Rosh pit. I'm not really sure what the plan is. Okay, they're looking to loop behind Clutch Gamers here. They see Faded, or Faded sees them at least. Faded starts off with the Silencer. Gosh is there. Bramble Maze on the ground, controlling the Abaddon. Quick Yule Scepter coming out, will dot some of the Bedlam damage, but the Ravage to follow. They want this Death Prophet, they've committed the Nether Toxin, they'll get Faded. Mega Kill Streak taken away. Skylark drops the Aphotic Shield, wants to fight. Goes forward with the Snowball, but the Terrorized will send both of them packing, and Gabby, with a tree in his hand, bounds away, gets himself a double. They might find more. The toss will net them the line as well. Clutch Gamers pop a smoke, look for a team fight, and get absolutely demolished. The good news is that Ajit is farming. Death Prophet's also really close to a BKB. But Admiral, it seems that they don't want to give any time to Clutch Gamers. They want Roshan. They want to dictate the pace of this game. Skylark building into a hood himself. Just trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Aframoosh, he got off to a good start. He got his zone and his levels quite early. He's got the GPM talent. He's got something flying out to him. Okay, so he's got his Blink Dagger. But honestly, Clutch Gamers, they don't have to worry. They've got a Luna farming away. And things start to get real hairy for Admiral if this Luna gets farmed. Rappy being controlled, Yule Scepter trying to set things up here onto this tide. Rappy moves into the trees, the Exorcism is there, he's got a mech, the Bramble Maze controls a bunch of them, the Terrorize pushes them back, but the Exorcism. The Ghosts have done their work. Skylark still staying healthy, has the Aphotic Shield, quick Snowball coming out, that moving forward onto the Naga. The shards will block her off, they'll get the Naga Siren. Gabby looking for a response, finds Aframoosh, looks to bring down this task, but Aframoosh will not end up surviving. The earn charge not enough, while Skylark with the borrow time looks to TP, but the Avalanche comes in the nick of time, and Gabby finds himself another. They got the tide, they got the Naga, but it cost them. However, all of this was space to time for Ajit to find himself a tier 2 tower, and Gabby instantly TPs up top. He's hounding Ajit. Has he got the damage though? The answer is no. And Ajit, he's going to make it back to his own shrine. He's got his BKB complete. And yeah, even though Admiral won that fight, this is still Clutch Gamers fighting without the Luna. All Clutch Gamers have to do is wait out the duration of the Sages. Just keep farming on the Luna. And at one point, they're just going to march down the lane, and there's nothing that Admiral can do to stop this Luna. Ben, he's trying to farm. He's trying to farm as much as possible. He's got the Maelstrom. Seems as if Admiral do not want to give this Luna any more time. They're pushing for the tier 2 tower at bottom. Clutch Gamers, seems as if they do not want to defend this. Admiral just moving from lane to lane, trying to force Clutch Gamers into a team fight. That's all they got to do. They've still got the Song. The Ravage is available. They got a mech on Rappy as well. But if Gabby gets picked off like this, it isn't good news really. Yeah, they're gonna end up losing the Tiny, and now Clutch Gamers can TP back and defend. An unstoppable streak taken away. The TPs are coming in, but this tier 2 it's falling fast. Abaddon will TP on that tower. Try and run them down. The Split Siphon catches only an illusion, but here's Aftermoosh. So Terrorize is coming through, and all three of them send marching right back. But Arjit with that Lucent Beam trying to control Rappy. Elsewhere, Ben-Hur does end up finding the line. Clutch Gamers, the idea was spot on. Force a fight when you got a man advantage. Fortunately though, they lose that advantage as the line gets picked off, and he's been having a rough game. Ajit though, he's still got that PKB, and it's inching closer and closer to his butterfly. Skylark, he's got that pipe complete. It's filling these smaller utility items. Gabby skewed up a Silver Edge and a BKB. I think the Silver Edge is for the Abaddon, but they've got the Nether Toxin if need be. Clutch Gamers, they popped a smoke. They're waiting around Roshan. Faded has got his own BKB. And they see the Tide Hunter, but it seems as if Clutch Gamers won't take the fight. And I think this is smart of them. Just let Arjit farm. He's got a whole lot of coal. I'm not a fan of the Hurricane Pike though. I think he needs to pick up like that one big item, rather than pick up an item that's going to allow him to participate in team fights. I think he needs to pick up an item that pretty much ensures that Admiral do not want to fight if the Luna is pushing. Yeah, he switched back to the butterfly. Skylark, I mean, he's looked rather solid on this Abaddon. I'm sure everyone was a fan of Mounds Esports back in the day, and him and Thug, you know, really causing certain upsets in the esports scene, in Dota 2 specifically. Up top, Gabby looks to TP, will barely make it out. Yo, pushes out a lane, hopes to get some farm, but he's got to be careful. Ben-Hur's in the vicinity. Ben-Hur picking up a BKB himself. Both teams though, they're just waiting for the next Roshan, which may respawn in a good 50 seconds. Ajit disassembles his Mask of Madness. He could possibly look to build into a Satanic. Problem is Tide's got a blink now. Pretty certain that Admiral have recognized it, that they've got to commit the Ravage, and they've got to burst the Luna in that Ravage. Clutch Gamer just moving as a unit with the Luna. I think it's Someone sent a Conqueror just walked in and took a look at the Luna. But Admiral, they're smoked up. They're on the hunt and they might find Argent. A 40 shield upon him. Will he get to pop his BKB? The answer is no. Luna down for 80 seconds. Admiral, they've got what it takes to win this fight and possibly move on for a second Aegis and cheese. Faded pops his BKB, looks to run the song, coming out, controlling Skylark as well as the Tusk. Terrorize will push back Skylark, but Faded still holds his ground. Avalanche coming out, catches to the Earth Spike, is there. Tiny being controlled, but the Nether Toxin controls the Abaddon. He doesn't have the border time. He's going to end up falling. Aframush searching for a Naga Siren, might get that kill. The shots will net him the kill onto the Naga Siren, but Ben-Hur will find the trade. He breaks down the Tusk, gets himself a double and Faded. Controlled in that Bramble Maze, can't really do too much. Admiral are going to be so disappointed that they ended up losing the Luna, and they might lose more. Faded thinks it's safe. Admiral, they fake back and they move towards the mid lane to try and punish this as Prophet. Well, it did cost a buyback on the toss just to keep that Prophet alive, but Clutch Gamers still holding on. They've got to be really careful not to let that Luna die so early. If she doesn't, if she doesn't get a BKB off, Admiral, they've got so much push with the Ravage, with the Avalanche Storch, and even with the Dark Willow, who's got a Blink Dagger and a Veil of Discord. Clutch Gamers though, I think this is a really smart one coming up from there. Ravage on cooldown, Admiral looking to heal up, wait for the time to respawn. Clutch Gamers instantly move into the Rosh Pit. Now they haven't got Exorcism, but they've got the Luna. And this fight is probably going to decide the outcome of the game. The Terrorize, is it available? Yes, it is. Boombax will be looking to send them packing. Rappy walks into the pit, getting vision. The Eclipse is there. BKB committed by Arjit, not affected by the Terrorize. He's got the Aegis, and Gabby holds his ground, manages to bring down the Tusk, but the question is at what cost is Arjit? Man's up, finds the Tiny. Ben-Hur pops his own BKB, looks to run the Curse of Awareness, slowing down. The break coming through, but the border time will proc, and the Script Swap will manage to bring down the Dark Willow as the Song of the Sign is committed, and Ben-Hur just looks to TP back home. Rappy gets caught out. Yol, he's had an extremely rough game, but he finds the Tide Hunter. And Arjit finds himself a little bit more to work with as far as gold is concerned. He's inching closer and closer to that Satanic. Yol now finds his Blink Dagger. And it may seem like a small item, but giving Line the ability to position himself in fights and land those Earth Spikes is actually quite huge. The question is, how much does Yol do with it? Huge fight for Clutch Gamers. They got Aegis. Luna so close to that Satanic. Just missing the goal for the Claymore there. But Arjit wants to do as much as possible with this second life. Starts pushing through the mid lane. And Skylark is there to back him up. Arjit skips past the Bramble Maze and starts working away on the tier 2. The Glyph being committed by Admiral. I don't know if they recognize this, but it's just Arjit and Skylark here. But they get the tier 2 tower and they're going to back off. Down bottom though, Yol, along with the Tusk, they've found the Naga Siren in the trees, and I think the Naga is going to end up falling as well. Clutch Gamers can start pushing for another tier 2 tower. No Naga Siren for 43 seconds. She has got buyback. They got the Exorcism as well, and even the new shiny Aeon Disc on Faded. Admiral, meanwhile, looking to find trades across the map themselves, looking for the tier 2 tower up top. They won't end up finding it at Clutch Gamers. They're going for the finish here. They got Aegis, they got Cheese, the Terrorize will come through. It's going to send back both Arjit and Faded. Faded copying a fair amount of damage, has the Aeon Disc, is going to be okay. And you also got the heals coming out from Faded. Bramble Maze thrown on the ground, but Arjit doesn't give a damn. Instead controls him, Nether Toxin as well. Ben-Hur trying his goddamn best to bring down this Luna. They'll focus the Dark Willow, they've got the Silence, the Willow will end up falling. The ghost from the exorcism doing work is Benner. Pops his BKB and looks to tuck tail and run. Clutch Gamers get the Aegis, recognize the fact that the Luna is too goddamn freaking strong, find the Dark Willow, and they're pushing for another lane of barracks. Skylark doesn't have too much mana or HP. There's the Ravage, clips a bunch. RJ dropping low, pops his BKB, has the Satanic, looks to turn. Man fights Benner with the Eclipse. He'll bring down the Viper. Benner down for 84 seconds, has no choice but to buy back. A buyback coming up from Yol of all people as RJ still healthy, still has the Aegis. Clutch Gamers looking for the finish here. Admiral without the Ravage. Have they really got a shot at this? What does Rappy do on the Tidehunter really? Just a glorified watermelon. But Clutch Gamers, they're going to show a little bit of discipline. And they're going to back off. A lot of unreliable gold. And Dark Willow trying to force the fight here. They've got Faded. Faded has his BKB. He could look to TP. But they're just going to try and burst him down. He has the Yield Scepter. RR pops the mirror image to terrorize coming through. Pushing their back. They're trying to control one. It is the Tusk. They will find the Tusk. They're looking towards Faded. Is he on this procs? Faded still alive but not for long. However, there's the Earth Spike. They managed to bring down the watermelon. Tied down for the count, but Yol will pay with his own life. Ben-Hur, being focused, ends up falling as well. Skylark does have the borrow time. He's looking to turn. That's a dieback on the Viper. Arjit just running forward, has the Aegis. He's got the sigil giving vision, but he's going to change tracks here. Moves on to the Dark Willow. Dark Willow's silence moves into the trees. Pops the Shadow Realm and will blink away. Faded, did he buy back? Okay, so Faded bought back, he used his BOTs, and why not? He's got the Exorcism coming off, cooldown. Clutch Gamers looking for the finish with this Exorcism, and they're going to find it. The Bramble Mace is there. Gabby looks to go in and burst down the Luna. Archer just pops his Satanic and gets his HP back up. Rappy forced to run, commits the backstroke, but Gabby is going to end up falling. Another toss coming out here from Gabby. Just tosses his own teammate on the ground itself. Elsewhere, Dark Willow goes in with the Peddling, but it barely tickles. And Arjit doesn't have the Aegis. He's healed up though. They're moving for the tier 4s here. Admiral, day 1 of the close qualifiers for GESC Thailand hasn't been kind to them. Arjit focusing the throne. Rappy blinking forward. Has the Ravage in 8 seconds. He's got to stay alive though. The Glaive's bouncing around to a fair amount of work. RR being chased back to his own base. Arjit walks into the enemy fountain. But this is all just PM. As Admiral have tapped out. Clutch Gamers, they'll take the series to day 1 of the GESC Thailand qualifiers. And we've had two 2-0s. Clean sweeps coming up from both Clutch Gamers as well as Geek fam. Good Dota. We've still got day 2 coming up tomorrow. I think TNC and Fnatic are going to be playing tomorrow. I think versus Clutch Gamers and Geek Fam. Those should be a fun bunch of series. But that's it as far as today's broadcast is concerned. My name is Vivek. You get our exclamation casters to find me on my social media and give me some feedback if you'd like to. We cast a lot of Southeast Asian Dota. So do hit the follow button on our Twitch channel so that you get a notification every time we go live. For now, this is Vivek from AFK Gaming signing up. TNC and Fnatic are going to be playing tomorrow. I think versus Clutch Gamers and Geek Fam. Those should be a fun bunch of series. But that's it as far as today's broadcast is concerned. My name is Vivek. You get our exclamation casters to find me on my social media and give me some feedback if you'd like to. We cast a lot of Southeast Asian Dota. So do hit the follow button on our Twitch channel so that you get a notification every time we go live. For now, this is Vivek from AFK Gaming signing up. TNC and Fnatic are going to be playing tomorrow. I think versus Clutch Gamers and Geek Fam. Those should be a fun bunch of series. But that's it as far as today's broadcast is concerned. My name is Vivek. You get our exclamation casters to find me on my social media and give me some feedback if you'd like to. We cast a lot of Southeast Asian Dota. So do hit the follow button on our Twitch channel so that you get a notification every time we go live. For now, this is Vivek from AFK Gaming signing up. TNC and Fnatic are going to be playing tomorrow. I think versus Clutch Gamers and Geek Fam. those should be a fun bunch of series. But that's it as far as today's broadcast is concerned. My name is Vivek. You get our exclamation casters to find me on my social media and give me some feedback if you'd like to. We cast a lot of Southeast Asian Dota, so do hit the follow button on our Twitch channel so that you get a notification every time we go live. For now, this is Vivek from AFK Gaming, signing out.